All right, welcome back to the greatest column clear captus on earth. I don't remember the rest of the intro though, so you gonna have to wait for the other guy to get here. So today we have a special guest. If you want to introduce yourself, you can.
Uh, Hi, my name is Terrell, aka Perp City. I mostly stream on Twitch, and I'm really nice in every game you got. So that's me.
All right. Other than our guest, we got our returning member EJ the boy over there, and it's me, Raytron123. So today's topic. Before that, how you doing, EJ? How you
Doing
been?
good. Doing good. First weekend. I got to myself in a long time.
You like it,
Just been yeah,
huh?
yeah, mentally I'm good. I'm good. I'm there, man. I mean, I'm always there, but sometimes I'm not. But I feel good. Got some errands out the way. And then today I had off being MLK Day. Shout out to MLK.
Oh,
Um,
is that what that? Everyone's saying they had off today, and I didn't know why.
yeah, Martin Luther King, man, come on the goat. But yeah, so got a little bit of an extended weekend at that too. So ready to start the week over,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
pretty much good.
All right. And Perp, how you been? How you been? I know I haven't seen you
Um,
ever, but
to be honest, I'm doing great. I'm actually looking forward a lot of things this year. Today was a calm day. Martin Luther King, R.I.P. to my man. Good holiday today. Um, Spoke to my daughter earlier, and because her birthday was last week Saturday.
happy belated.
Thank you. She just turned 4. I'm really hyped because this year is going to be a lot of
Mm-hmm.
changes,
Mm-hmm.
and I could see a lot of self improvement to myself and a lot of improvement I'm about to do with my daughter. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. With that, then let's get right into it. Then, me personally, by the way, let me just get a quick update. I just went to a birthday party. I baked a pie, normal stuff.
Kind of pie.
Apple and banana cream. Um, I fucking clay. The party was like you bring like it was like a potluck thing. You bring some food, and then they're like, all right, let's like work on some clay. I made a little figure. I made a Meta Knight. Um, working with clay is hard. Working with clay is hard because in your mind you want to sculpt it. Like you want to like get your shape and then like carve the details into it. But like halfway through, I realized that's not it. Like I want to like really make base shapes and then like get like other pieces of clay and put it on top of my base shape. That's what really worked really well. Maybe at one point I'll grab it. It's gone over there. I'll grab it and show you guys. But what Purple was saying was it was facts. This year is all about self improvement. All year should be about self improvement. It's a constant grind. But there's levels to this shit, right? You gotta take this step in steps, right? So what do you guys think the first step to self improvement is though? Like let's one of your opinions on that.
The first step I'll say is like recognizing what the problem is,
Does
or
it
what it the
necessarily
thing
have to
the
be
thing.
a problem though?
Not necessarily a problem, but something that you feel like like the area that you need to improve in. Like I've always talked about this in past episodes about being honest with yourself, being objective, looking at the areas in your life that you need to fix before you can, start developing a plan and stuff like that about what you want to do. So I would say the first step is with that, and then try to develop some kind of routine or some kind of disciplined plan on how it is that you want to improve. If you have to seek counsel from others, if you have to do some research online, wherever that area of improvement is, might lead you in different directions as to how you want to go about it. But yeah, I definitely would say the first step is to look inward and like really assessing what it is that you need to improve in.
What about you, Perp? Like how do you feel about the
I
first
agree with
step?
I agree with E. I agree with Eric. About being self improvement, but mostly be a self improvement to yourself. That's the first thing. For to the steps you're doing, any mistakes you've been doing since back in the past, be improvement, be ahead, fix your mistakes, and be right there. You be your self improvement because like for myself, I definitely need self improvement. I ain't lie. I ain't lying. The things I did, the things I've been doing, I gotta do better. So
Mm.
yes, I went to counseling. Couple, I would say, what is this? Month or two, and it really teaching me how like to and listen, understand what I've been doing, what I've been going through, and understand like the things I messed up. And it hurts me by like understanding the other person because I don't like telling my lifestyle about my situations,
Mm.
and it hurts, you know. But I need to prove, I need to prove myself. Like understand what you're going through, you know, what's going on. So I just like listen, understand what they talking about. So right there, I'm taking baby steps, and I'm trying to fix my steps. That's all.
I like how you said
Being
that.
that,
That's
yeah,
my
being able to take
catchphrase.
advice.
Baby steps. Nah, I agree. Like first you gotta figure out what you want to improve and why you need to improve. I feel it's different for everybody, right? Like some people want to improve for to attract women. Some people want to improve because they just don't like their job. Some people want to improve so they can be better dads. Is what regardless of reason why you want to improve, understanding that first step, I believe, is the first phase to self improvement, right? And then from there you can do a whole bunch of different steps. Like it really does depend on like your ultimate goal in the end. For me personally, right? Like I want to self improve because I just want to like live a better life in general, right? I'm trying to relive that like comfortable life. I don't necessarily want to like be super rich or super famous or anything, but I just want to be able to like kick it back with the homies and not have to worry about nothing type of life. That sounds like a very comfortable position. And things like that, they don't just come to you, right? Like you gotta work for those things.
I know, really, real talk. It actually comes like people say it's destiny. People say it's like out the blue, but it comes when it comes.
Mm.
So right there, like I'm a patient guy, and for now, so till this day, I'm about to have my own crib. Till this day, I about to have my own things, my own way.
Mm.
So it comes. It just gotta have patience. That's all.
But you gotta work for it though, because like, say you want to get your own house, like you can't just sit there in your mama's
Be
crib and just
patient.
wait.
Yeah.
Like you can't just wait. And it's like, yeah, one day, just like sitting there, fucking watching Netflix, be like, yeah, I'll move out eventually. Like you can't do that. Like, you gotta like plan things. You gotta like put the finances away. You gotta do all that stuff. Like it will happen if you're like taking those steps, right? Like it might not happen next day. It might not happen next year. But if you're doing the right steps, it will happen, right? And that's the whole point of self improvement. It's like you gotta realize that you have to work for it. It's not something that it's not like, all right, I'm gonna drink more water and then I'm just gonna become sexy. Like no, it's not like that. It's not like I'm gonna change one aspect. It's kind of like a lifestyle you have to live. Like it goes beyond just drinking water. You gotta drink water. You gotta eat healthy. You gotta exercise sometimes. If their goal is to like have a better like body, right? You gotta do all of these steps. And I believe, like I said, like my catchphrase is baby steps. I believe you can do this over the course of time. Like you don't gotta just like cold turkey. All right, I'm cutting out McDonald's. I'm cutting out all of this all in one night because that's a quick way to failure. That's a
Yeah.
quick way to failure. It's like, all right, I'm never eating no fast food. It's gonna be baked chicken and rice every day. You can't live like that. You can't live like that if you can't go from eating Chipotle to baked chicken and rice every day. You gonna go through withdrawals. You're gonna start craving that shit. You're gonna be sitting there fucking daydreaming about that fucking guac. You're like, damn, Chipotle sounds so good right now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you gotta take in steps, right? Like say like sticking with the fitness goal. Like if you want to like have the goal of drinking more water, well, what I did was like when I was in college, I would just have this like filter of water next to me, and I'm the kind of guy like if there's like a drink, I'm gonna drink it, right? So like I would have the whole filter there, and I would sit there while I was doing anything. I was doing homework, playing games, whatever. I would just have it next to me, and I would drink it. And throughout the day, that filter would just like be gone, and I would keep filling it up and up. And like throughout like the course of the semester, I was drinking more and more water. Like it got to the point where I like didn't even think about grabbing a soda when I was in the dining halls or anything. I would just grab a water because I was just drinking so much of it.
Yeah.
And that's just that was just one step to break the habit. Because like back in college, I would drink an iced tea with every meal because it was the same. It was the same price. It was the water, which was like just drink the iced tea. Like it tastes better, right? But then I just thought about it. I was like, yeah, I could drink more water. Like it's not gonna kill me to drink more water, right? Like it's literally not going to kill me if I drink more water. So I just drank more water. See, here I am drinking my water.
H2O is the best.
You'll see me drinking some soda sometime. Like I'm like that. I be drinking the sugary drinks. I do, but I drink a lot more water now than I used to, and I'm better for it. TBH. I used to be a fiend for those sugary drinks. Fiend,
Nah,
bro.
like I ain't lie. I've been stopped drinking sodas and juices. Like I'm not saying starting now, but been recently because like I ain't lie. My mom went shopping and she bought like I think 6 or 7 cases of bottle of waters. And right now we down by 2. So right now I've been drinking mad waters till this day, man. We got mad juices in the fridge, and I don't even be digging in there, looking in there. I've been drinking mad water because right now it's behind this couch, and I was just grabbing them when I was just starting my stream, just grabbing them. So
Yeah,
right now
yeah.
I've been
Just keep that shit in reach. Just easy access. Like
easy access. I was like, you know what? I'm for now until this day I'm been drinking water, and I ain't like I'm trying to like fix my face to like take out that sugary stuff because I don't want no buns. I've been cleaning my face every single day. I gotta make sure my face is clean and spotless. So I've been drinking more water and putting my products on my face, and we good. Because like, I take care of my face. That's all.
bro, I was chatting with this girl. I don't know if I said this on stream or not, but I was talking to someone once, and like I just mentioned, it was like some goofy comment, like a throwaway. It was like, "Yo, what's your skincare routine, right?" And then like her immediate response was like, "Yo, what females you be talking to?" And I was like, "Nigga, I got skin too." The fuck? It's just so weird. Like it's current year, bro. We all know how to wash our face. Yo, it looked like Vanguard showed up.
Yeah, he made it.
Vanguard yet lives. Hold on. Let me show myself on camera.
Oh man, I'm about to.
Sound like you're out of breath, man.
Bro, he
Drink some
ran
water.
here, bro. He ran here.
Drink
bro.
some water, man.
We just talk about he was out of breath.
Drink some water.
Yeah, I gotta change some names real quick. But
oh, so we're not starting.
No, we're live, baby. You're late. I'm joking. Yeah, we're live though.
All right.
All right, so that's okay. I already did the intro.
Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah. We don't need you. Weekly, no, stop.
I'll just let myself out. I'll go.
Nah, we talking about self-improvement. We were talking about the first step, right? I was asking everyone what they think the first step is. All right, since you just showed up, what do you think the first step into self-improvement is? Well, I fix some stuff.
First step to self-improvement.
Here
I'll use you as an example.
Yeah, here it comes.
It's like fix that hairline.
Yeah, there it is. Go ahead. Yep.
The first step on
Stupid.
You gotta slip those in there at least once a day, right? But I'd say the first step, I think like in the self-improvement cycle is like the consumption phase. You just start consuming mad self-improvement material. That's what like all the young guys start doing. Just get anything self-improvement they can get their hands on, videos, books, all that shit. I think that's the first thing they start doing. Yeah. I really that's the first step for anyone in general when you think about it, because you kind of have to absorb information before you can act, right?
So we were talking about how the first step is figuring out that you need to improve, right? That's what we said.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, you jumped some steps there, buddy. No, stop. No, because like you're not wrong either. Like for a lot of people, like that realization might not even be considered a step for them. They're like, damn, fuck, I need to get better, and like they're like, how do I get better? So they start like looking into.
If you're but that's what I'm saying. If you're already self-aware, as I was saying before, like a lot of people get in their own way because they're not just self-aware of those things, and they need somebody else to tell it to them, or for some people they need intervention, or they need somebody to sit down with them and have a conversation, and like, hey, like this is really affecting your life in the following ways. But if you're not, if the average person that's not on that deep end of it, and can realize that within themselves, like you said, you just start researching, consuming yourself with a bunch of material that's in that area, and you're already off to a great start. So
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
I think even when you realize it, that kicks off the consumption phase. Because like even if you realize something's wrong, you still might not know how to fix it. You know what I mean? Like you're like, this is not how I want to live, or this is not the way I want to look. And then you're like, how do I change though? And then you begin Googling things and you look through YouTube and you find a bunch of stuff.
I mean,
And then there
that's
goes,
why I try to think of them as different steps, because it really does depend on your personal self improvement journey, right? Like
yeah,
EJ said, some people they might not be self aware, they might not realize what they're doing is like so detrimental to them and the other people around them. So for them, step one will be realizing you need to self improve. For someone who just like woke up today and just like, nah, gotta do better, like they step one's already done. Like they did it so fast they didn't realize they did it. So now they're like on their journey to figuring out what they can do, right? Like they were just like, yep, I can't deal with Derek talking to me like this no more. I can't be at this job no more, bro. Can't do it. Like shit
yeah,
like that. And, some people like I literally know someone who is constantly getting certifications and stuff, and I could not tell you what for. I couldn't tell you what they're doing it for. Like they're just like gathering these skills, and I'm just like, sis, what are you doing with this shit? Please do something.
Oh
You
no.
know?
It's like a jack of all trades, master of none.
And it's like, I don't know. So, at some point, it feels like they're doing it because they think they're like, this is like the things they have to do. I don't know. I gotta
I
talk to them
mean,
more about it. But
could I've been thinking about this for a while, so I guess it's a good place. Here is a good place as any to ask it. I've been thinking to myself, is there really a better usage of your time than acquiring skills? Like, what could you be doing instead of acquiring skills?
so
Like,
it's
wouldn't
not that
acquiring skills be the best usage of your time?
like I think acquiring these random certs and whatever is wrong or
Yeah,
whatever. It's just like I'm confused. It's because like like these people
yeah, I
aren't
get you.
living like they're like their best life, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not even saying like they're living a bad life, but like
Okay, okay, okay.
it's just like I'm confused as to like it seems like they're coasting right now. Like they're just like, all right,
Yeah, yeah,
coast. And
yeah.
I said I want to do that shit too, but like constant self improvement. Like I'd always be looking for like the next level of that comfortable, and it seems like they hit that level of comfortability where they're just like, all right, I'm gonna stay here, but
yeah.
they're not like they still live with their
But
parents, but they don't need to. They live with their parents, but they don't need to.
See,
They're
but
doing this because they don't need to.
I,
Like it's
I was
just stuff. Go on,
I was
EJ.
gonna say to no, I was gonna say to answer Vanguard's question about like better usage of your time, like what would
Mm-hmm.
be better. Um, it goes back to the whole point of like what is the point of acquiring knowledge if you don't apply it? So it's
mm,
like, yeah, I guess you make yourself a more well-rounded individual when you take the time out to keep yourself informed
Yeah.
about different types of information. Like you can hold up conversations, you could you know, say that you're very studious and you're smart, you're an intellectual, and if that's what you're going for, I guess fine. But
yeah,
if it doesn't really have any doesn't really impact your life in any way, it's just like, all right, so you're just waiting for, like, let's say I to give you an example, let's say I just started looking up different information in astrology, and I don't plan on ever using it, but I end up crossing paths with somebody that went to school for that kind of work, and me and them are having a back and forth conversation, and
you
I could
mean
hold my
astronomy?
own.
You mean
Yeah, like
astronomy, not astrology?
yeah, astronomy. I said astrology.
Now I
It's
get them
astro-
confused too. I was in a
Yeah,
whole
same
astrology.
shit.
I was in astronomy class and I was calling that shit
I was kind of
astrology.
confused. No, because for a second I thought he was like really saying like you looking up like the star signs and shit and
Yeah,
Yo, bro, that
the
shit will
months
come
and
in
all that.
handy when you next time you're talking to your
but
lady.
it's like yeah, it'll come in handy when that circumstance happens. But it's just like, is that what you did? Like you wasted all that time during the day just for like a one chance encounter, right?
Yeah,
That is
I mean
not likely to happen that often. Instead of
Uh,
like actually learning something that you plan on using or applying in real life.
all right, nah, all right. I
you
But
feel
wait.
there's
I was
other
gonna say,
things around
go
that.
for it. Sorry
Oh
about
my
that.
bad. There's other things around that. Like you said, there's other people could teach you. Other people who's older and really about to get old and about to start passing away. You can learn from other people. That's how you can get the knowledge of the self improvement. Start knowing what you're about to do. The next step you're about to do it before you do it. So right there is everything you're just learning each and every day. So right there, that's definitely self improvement by learning other people you don't even know.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is EJ reminded me of something where it's like I was thinking about this, like people will like work so hard for the sake of working hard. And I was thinking in my head about how like that's a major waste of time. Like just putting on like if you don't have a clear plan, I think, and you're just working hard for no reason, or like let's say acquiring skills like Ray said for no utilage, no utilization for them. It's kind of like you're just wasting time in a way when if you had like a clear, more succinct vision, then you can actually grow much more than you would just doing random scatterbrain things. And also, you touched on one of the things that I think is the most annoying things on the planet. When people will find all those little factoids or trivia bits and they'll just make that their life, just looking up that kind of shit. And then they're just always like showering you with all these stupid random trivia facts that are meaningless. They don't mean anything, don't enhance your life in any way. But I guess they do it to impress people. And I always found that shit so annoying.
All
When
right,
I'm talking to
all
someone
right.
and they start doing that shit.
Wait. Fun fact: the first line in the High School Musical movie
All right,
is,
yo, let's go ahead
and
and
I
kick this
remember, and all I remember is Pink Lemonade. That
Yeah.
is a
This is like,
throwaway.
what-
I don't
what
know
is
why
that?
I know that, but
What is
Yeah,
that?
well, to Perp's point, I think he has a point there that yeah, life is all about learning. So there is also that aspect to it.
no. But
I
honestly,
mean,
wait, no,
that's
wait, EJ, wait,
that's a
because I was
fun
gonna,
endeavor for you. Go ahead, go ahead.
because you were talking about like all that, like acquiring knowledge and stuff, and even I was like touching on it, right? Like I don't mind people acquiring knowledge, right? Because I learned about a random assortment of facts randomly, right? And it actually came in handy the other day because I was talking about how I was like making these like clay figures, right? And because I like watched a bunch of like videos and stuff, like I was able to make a kind of like decent figure. Like this light's too bright, but like I like learned a bunch of like the techniques and whatever. So like when it came time, I was like, all right, cool. Like, but I'm not gonna like become an actual painter or like sculptor. So I wouldn't take a sculpting class. I
No,
acquired
but
this knowledge
yeah,
through osmosis, like Purpose talking about, like just like talking to people. Like maybe
yeah,
I'd catch an odd video here or there, but like I
yeah,
didn't sit there and go spend like say $2,000 on a course to become a sculptor just for that one time. That if my friends wanted to go sculpting, I could be like, haha, yeah, call me Picasso. Like I feel
yeah.
like that's like kind of goofy. Like,
No, that's what I was gonna say is that like there's nothing inherently wrong with it if you just see it as a fun endeavor to pick up that to learn that information. If that's fun for you to just go out and like, hey, like I not that I'm trying to do anything with this, but I actually have some type of interest in this subject and I want to know more about it. I'm not gonna shame somebody for doing that. I welcome that. That's good.
yeah,
That's a productive use of your time. It
but
doesn't
to
always have to be spent chilling, partying, or doing something that you're not learning. So
So basically, what we've established here is the first step is realizing that you need to improve. The second step is acquiring information or acquiring knowledge. So what would be the third step?
third step, I really feel like the third step is we cutting through the fat, right? Like you've done the second step. You acquired a bunch of knowledge. You figured out what you should be doing. I'm gonna put that in air quotes, like what you should be doing. But now you got to really figure out what you should be doing. Because say you wanted to figure out how to be healthier. I keep going back to the health thing because I like to use the same sort of examples throughout all of my
Wait, can I also say something? Even your thing cutting out the fat is like even that was
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like health related. Like
I
that was
just
fun.
I like keeping it very very streamlined, and I feel like using the same sort of
and
cutaway is like it's easier on your ADHD brain, right?
You're
So
basically taking you're taking it the health like you said, drink water, go to the gym.
yep,
You're basically saying activities,
yeah,
activities to work
staying
out
with this one
to
cutaway
make
gag, bro. It's throughout the show. so So like if you want to do better, like you can sit there on YouTube and watch all the people you want, right? They will all come with conflicting things about what you should and shouldn't eat, what you should and shouldn't do in the gym. And it really does depend on what your ultimate goal is. If you're trying to be like Rocky, right? Like you're trying to be Aki, you're gonna figure out, all right, well, I'm gonna find the people who are the like are telling me like how to do that. If you're just trying to like do straight up weight loss, right? You don't need to be hitting fucking 300 PRs. Like you don't need to do that for weight loss. You don't need to do that. If you want to like just lose and shed fat, you gonna follow those people who want to shed fat. if you are already like in the shape that you want to be in, but you just want more flexibility, you'd find those flexibility like gurus. Like you figure out what you want. Like you gathered all of the information on a preliminary basis, and now it's time to hone in and figure out what your real goal is. So I guess like well, part 3 is figuring out what your real goal is. Because I want to self improve, but what does that even mean, really, right? So you got to figure out what that means.
I mean, it's funny because even like as I started getting more and more into like lifting and all that kind of stuff, I had to do exactly what you were saying. Because like when you start trying to lift or even trying to eat healthy or like trying to build muscle, all that kind of stuff, like Ray said, you'll find a lot of material, and a lot of it is fucking dumb. Like a lot of it is useless and will ruin your life. Like a lot of it just makes no sense. So like you gotta like cut through it. Like one of the most famous things that idiots still follow to this day in the fitness industry is there's this idea of this anabolic window that people think they have to follow. So like they'll
Yeah, you
finish
didn't
a
hear about
workout.
that? You didn't hear about that?
Huh?
Like if the 30 minutes right after you eat someone's
Yeah.
ass, you got to do like 10 push-ups. It's going to unlock your brain to really start
No, not
burning the
even that.
fat.
Even worse than that.
Nah, but people say
That's
some
only
goofy
the
shit
first thing.
like that, bro.
But another thing, they'll try to stuff their faces as much as they can, like immediately after a workout, but they'll try to hit their post workout as soon as they can. Because in their minds, they're scared that if they take too long, they're gonna lose the gains they just got. And like no matter how much research comes out to show them that this is not true, and it is stupid, people still do that to this day. But anyway, so like
Oh, he froze?
I think he froze.
Yeah, he
I think he
froze.
froze.
But
As he was saying.
yeah, what y'all think? What's step 3?
What was the first 2 steps again?
So, just saying if we're in consensus is figuring out that you want to self-improve, gathering information.
Okay.
And then he said,
His step 3
his
was
step is basically health, but I'm gonna put the activities because activities is basically like sport wise, workout wise, and to get yourself your body right because
Well,
you can get self improved.
It sounded like his step 3 was actually like verifying, because you said gathering information, but actually verifying that information and see how applicable it is, or how true it is in general. Because you could gather information from everywhere,
I'm sorry.
and you got a whole
Looking at
bunch
his
of
frozen frame.
you got a whole bunch of people telling you stuff about this particular area that might be true, but if you got so many different people that you're getting advice from, and they might be dissenting views, from that other person that you were listening to, so it's like you might not be able to apply all of it to your particular issue, that you're trying to improve upon. So I think that might be a small detail in there that is a part of this step, which is making sure that information that you're gathering is not only factual, but can it be applied to you in your specific case. But the step that I was gonna say, not really focused on the information aspect, and this could be a step 4 if we're counting that as a step 3, would be maintaining that plan. Like if you have a routine set or a discipline, that you're strictly adhering to, day in and day out, making sure that you're staying on top of that discipline. And I don't know if you have to implement some kind of reward system in order for you to stay true to it. Like I know when certain people work out, they'll be like, all right, I'll get a cheat meal by the end of the week. If that's what helps you maintain that discipline, or if you punish yourself in some kind of way by not staying on course, like whatever it is that allows you to retain that, and keep on doing it. I think that's a crucial part of it.
Okay.
I would say the fourth step for me, if you want to take this or not, I would say the fourth step would be helping each other out. Help that person out. Make sure that other person not doing so bad or doing suicides. Help that person out because you're helping yourself and helping that person out.
So you mean like have like an accountability buddy, so you can like
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, definitely.
Because I was gonna ask, because like it's very easy to do some things, right? Like I love baby steps. So like for me, drinking water was easy because like if it's there, I'll drink it, right? Like I've done this water bottle, right? But how is it that I force myself to go to the gym? Like I can't put the gym outside my house, right? Like I can't do that. So how would you guys go about your? How would you guys? What are the words I'm looking for? I don't know why my brain is farting right now. How
Like
do
an
you guys?
incentive.
Yeah, like incentives. How do you guys keep on track? What do you do to make sure you keep your goals?
So yeah, that's what I was kind of alluding to with the fourth step.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people, it might be a reward system,
Mm-hmm.
where you accomplish something for the day, and as a result, you get something out of it. You get
What is that?
something
What do you
else.
do personally? I'm asking you. Like, what do
Oh,
you do
me personally,
personally? Yeah.
um, I don't do a reward system. It's just more of, for me, it's just more of a, you know, I it's just accountability. Like I don't punish myself either. I don't make myself do 50 push-ups or put myself through some grueling exercise because I didn't accomplish something, but it's just more of like damn, you know, and I don't want to feel that damn. Like I don't want to feel that regret. So that's enough of a, for me personally, it's enough of a deterrence for me to like stay on top of things.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Um
I would
but
say
some would say I probably need
that
more than that, but yeah, go ahead.
I would say something like that, but towards me, I always like I gotta accomplish my goals every single day. Because when I wake up, I feel like I'm doing the same routine every day. Wake up, work, back to the stream. So the routine it seems so easy, seems so relaxed and comfortable, but your mind and you're setting your goals, you could tell yourself, yeah, I could do something better. I could do something great. So right there, I just sit down on my couch, think about what I gotta do, focus on my daughter, make sure she's getting right, she's going to school right, and then focus on myself, making sure I get a lot of money, and just like thinking about what's my next step. So my next step is going to be make sure I get the hell out of my house. That's one. So yes, I accomplished that. I went out. I achieved that. Boom. Two is like making sure it don't have to be in order. You just got to make sure that everything got to be in right. You got to get out, get your butt up, and get out there
But how do
and
you make
start
yourself
off.
accountable for that? Like, cause like yes,
It's just a thought. It's just like get that feeling because it's no that
Yeah,
accountable.
it's
It's
kind of
that
hard.
feeling.
It's like what's the motive, right? Between for people that got to get up and go to work every day. Well, you don't want to lose your job. You don't want to. There's consequences, you know.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like
exactly.
how do you put in those same, like how does those same consequences you put in place for like something simple of like going to the gym and working out, right? Like how do you that's a hard question
Get
because
up.
like
How you get yourself up? Like he said, how you get yourself up to go to the gym?
because like
it
those
seems.
consequences, the
It's that
consequences
point.
are not as heavy, you know, like they're not as impactful right
Uh,
away. Like they have a long term impact, but it's not like an immediate impact.
it seems like for you, it seems like the idea of you staying where you are is so detrimental to your mental that you can't do it anymore. That you
Yeah.
like you get up and
Yeah,
go because you
actually,
have to, right?
well, yeah, basically, yeah, yeah.
So like that is one mentality to have where you're just so fed up with your situation where you're just like, all right, I have to do this because I can't do another day of not doing what I want to do type shit.
Mhm.
Personally, for me, like, I have a little bit of that where it's like, damn, like if I didn't get to go to the gym today for reasons I was like, damn, I was like beating myself up about it. And for me personally, like the idea that I am disappointed in myself is enough for me to like try to keep to my
Yeah.
goals, right?
Mhm.
But I know that like for some people that's not enough. So like EJ said, there's some people do have a reward system. Like when
Yeah.
I very first went started trying to go to the gym, there was a taco spot right outside. On Fridays, like after the whole week, we'd get a taco. Like we'd get like two tacos, and we'd be like, all right, this is it. Like
Yeah.
this was what that whole week was worth. They were bomb tacos too. Um, there
But I
was
think
that. Go
go
on,
ahead.
not go on.
No, I was gonna say I think what you're touching upon is like the dilemma that a lot of people face because like it's easy to hold yourself accountable when you see those immediate consequences. Like, damn, if I don't do this, this happens. But for something like working out, like you could miss a day of not going to the gym, and yeah, you'll probably feel down about it because you want to keep going, but it's not like your life is massively different from not going. Like it's
Hmm.
not like things like your world is uplifted, right? Or like change forever changed for not going. So it's like for people to miss a day of not doing something, like they need the consequences to be severe sometimes. And with
Yeah.
that, the consequences are not really that severe.
Yep. Like you said, like the reason a lot of people get up to go to work, and it's even though they hate it, it's because if they don't, they'll get fired. And
Yeah.
if they get fired, they can't pay their rent. And if they can't pay their rent, they homeless. Honestly, I won't even lie. For a lot of people, it's not the homelessness that scares them. It's the fact that they can't afford the fun things. It's like, damn, I won't have money to go on my trip to Bora Bora if I don't miss like.
Exactly.
It's like why don't people commit crime? You know, they're afraid of going to jail. You know, they're afraid of those consequences.
Yeah.
That's
Some
very
some people are just good people.
I mean, yeah, but you
Yeah.
know,
I was gonna let it rock, but you're right.
I'm saying in the sense of people that have actually had that thought
Yo,
of
stay
like,
away from
damn,
EJ,
you know.
bro. If there's no consequences, you gonna rock.
No, but that those are things that have kept societies in check and why things are the way they are
This man
because
said
of
if the
like the
purge was real, I'd be outside.
I don't
EJ
know.
was on some Dexter Morgan shit. He was EJ was so, but anyways, I was gonna say, I think one of the things that started motivating me is like I remember I started learning about enjoying the process. That's something that keeps you doing something even if it's really hard.
Hold on, I
Like you
gotta
start
take a
to
call.
I mean, it's kind of like meditating on the result as well because like I remember when I'd go to the gym, if I was doing something really fucking hard and it would hurt, I would think in my head, if you do this now, I was like, if you're able to do this, man, you're gonna be able to do more next time. It's like it's gonna be fucking awesome if you can lift more next time. I was like, you just have to go, you have to deal with this right now, and you'll be able to do more in the future. And then like literally, I remember there'd be times when I was like, my strength was sagging, and that one thought that if I do this now, I'll be able to do better in the future. I would just like do some He-Man shit and just like push that shit. And even fucking when I was working out with Ref, right? And we were fucking deadlifting. We get to the last one. And like it was literally the thought, it was like if you do this now, you'll be able to keep lifting more. Because it was only like my second time doing this shit. And I actually lifted this crazy weight. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. But that one little motivation of if I can lift this now, imagine what you could do later, got me to fucking do it. And I was like, I don't know, that always seems to work for me. Like enjoying the process of growth, like thinking you're growing if you do this thing, it'll keep me doing it. Because I hear
That's a
like
good way of thinking about it.
yeah, because like reward can mess you up sometimes. Like it can like you can start doing it only for the reward, and then it throws everything out of whack. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you accomplish is a reward. Everything you're
Yeah.
doing is a reward.
Exactly. That's how you have to think
So
about it.
you just got to think about it. You know, everything you just did is like you feel great. You know, you feel that like we
Yeah.
made it. You know, we made
Yeah,
it.
that
We
rush.
made it. You know, you got to do the dab. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's why
But
when I sent that motivational speak that when he was doing the motivational speaker, he was doing like an interview and he was saying stop being driven by reward. Of course we do
Yeah.
things for gains, but if you
Yeah.
only do it for gains, if the gains is what keeps you in it, then it's like
Yeah.
your determination is not gonna
Yeah.
it's only gonna get you so far,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Because
yeah.
you're not gonna get the rewards right away. So it's
Yeah.
like if you're only determined by that, it's gonna stop you. But go ahead.
There was a funny thing that actually touches on exactly what you were saying because they had these kids who like drawing, right? They started rewarding them for their drawings. And then like the kids got used to the idea of being rewarded for the drawings. When they took away the rewards, guess what happened? The kids stopped wanting to draw as much. Formerly, they loved the drawing, but when the rewards were introduced, they tied their drawing to the reward, and they couldn't do it without the reward. And like it's funny because even like I remember like sometimes when I was first trying to do the self improvement shit, I would think of ways of how I should reward myself. But then I started realizing I was like, if I'm let's say I'm doing something like working out heavy, and then I'm like if you do it now at the end of the week, you're gonna be able to have that apple pie. That kind of defeats the purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you're trying to be healthy, you reward yourself with like a fucking apple pie or something. And then I started thinking about it even more. I was like, okay, if I live like this way. I'm gonna go crazy partying at the end of it. And I was like, but that kind of defeats the purpose. That I just undo everything I did. Like I ruined my mindset. I spent all my
You got
money.
what you need. You basically got what you had, but after that, you just flipping it. Basically, what you're doing, you're flipping it.
Exactly.
So right there, you self improvement, but you're actually doing the wrong thing. You doing
Exactly. It's like you go 2 steps back for every like 3 steps you take forward.
Like you could set out to do. Ray was talking about this before. Like you could set out to do something like that would be seen as good. Like it's good self improvement. But if your whole intention behind it is corrupted by the wrong reasons as to why you're doing it in the first place, it might not be something you should actually do because you might be doing it to service someone else outside of yourself, right? Like if you're doing it, let's say female validation. Like if you're doing it to impress females, then it's like this is a good thing that you improved yourself, but you'll never feel fulfilled. You'll never feel like you actually improved because you didn't get that out of it. But
or you get the females, but now you're hollow inside.
even if you do get it, you might realize later on it wasn't even worth it. That was a foolish thing.
Yeah, you're hollow. You got all this shit. Because, like, let's say you want to do the fastest route. I'm trying to get all the bitches. Like, that's what you're thinking in your head, right? You go and you get the fancy car. You get the expensive clothes. You get the expensive watch. You line up your hair like Drake does in his fucking music videos. You do everything. You model yourself completely on all these people outside of you. Like, is there even a you left? Like there's nobody in there. Like you're just a bunch of things you saw in magazines and in commercials and shit,
And when Ref came on, he was talking about that. He was saying, what's the point? Even if you get all those things, what's the point if you can't be yourself? What's the point of being around people and you're just being fake, or this is just someone else's portrayal that you've that you've put yourself in, that this is not even your creation. It's like there's no point to it.
And that's why like those red pill content creators they'll rub me wrong sometimes. Because like, geez, that was weird. I'm never gonna say that sentence again. They'll have all this shit you're supposed to do, right? And they pass it off as if it's self-improvement. But then when you look at it, all they're doing is telling you shit of how you could get women. And in my head, I'm just like, what is so different? Like, what is the difference between you if you're the supposed alpha male, right? Who's done all these things to get all these women, and the simp, who's done different things, but for the same goal. You both are completely driven by female validation.
Bro, that's the secret, Cap. They're the same side. They're the different sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
Either way, you simping. Either way, you're simping, bro.
Exactly.
But beyond that, I was gonna ask, like, should figuring out, should like weeding through your friends be a step in self improvement? Not even like your friends, but like your real desires. Like, should that be a step in self improvement?
I 100% think that weeding through your desires, because like one thing about self improvement, as you look into it, it's usually not about adding things to your life. Well, it's about adding certain things to your life, but then you also, like you said, you have to cut a lot of fat. So you have to cut fat not just from what you're learning, from your life itself. Like you look at your life and you're just like, damn, there's mad time wasted here, mad energy wasted. There are a bunch of things I'm just gonna have to stop doing so I can enjoy my life and live happily. And part of that is gonna inevitably involve getting rid of certain people who are just energy drains or like very negative people who just like people who are bad influences. That's another thing. Like you might be on your journey, you just have those people who just like, yo, you can have one drink, bro. Like it's not a big deal. Just it's only one drink. Like those kind of people.
Yeah.
Got to get rid of those. Sometimes you even have to get rid of significant others because they're taking all your fucking money and they're not willing to travel with you on this journey. Things like that,
Absolutely. Because as we were all talking about, is like say you do start your fitness goals and your main desire is to get bitches. It's like, all right, so what happens when you get bitches? You gonna stop? You gonna stop on your fitness goals? Like you did it. You acquired said bitches, the elusive bitch. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep it going. All right, so you hit your mark, right? You've succeeded. You have now gotten your girlfriend. Like, what? You're gonna just go back to being a slob? Like, what was all that work for?
It's funny because a lot of people actually do that shit. They get a girlfriend and they put on mad pounds, get weight.
I mean, I know healthy relationship weight exists, right? But some people taking it too far. Some people taking it too far. Like I feel like healthy relationship weight. All right, I put on a few pounds because like you will not go to the gym as much, right? You will
Yeah.
be focused on doing other things, and when you with your significant other, you be eating good because like you'll go on more dates or you'll like do more things that you wanted to do, so you be eating good sometimes. So you be like, damn, I gained like 2 pounds. But some people was like, damn, I gained 300. I was like, yo, sis, chill, bro, chill on that.
And then even
Come
if
on,
you want to take it outside of the whole getting healthy and getting ripped kind of thing, although you don't got to be ripped to be healthy, but the
you
whole
don't.
getting healthy thing. Um, Sometimes you have your goals, but you get in your relationship, and let's say you're driven completely by female validation. You get in your little relationship, you're like, all right, things are okay now. Things are okay. And there's so much more you could have done, so much more space you could have grown, but now you're satiated. So you sit there and you let yourself go. You dwindle and dwindle away. Then you lose your girlfriend, and then now you're just like, shit, man. I really threw off my whole course, my whole plan, all because I got one girlfriend.
I actually always
on
hated those
on
posts.
that, on that.
On that, go on, spit your
Nah,
facts.
like he spoke like some of the truth. I like that. I like how he say that. I've been seeing like people like that, and I hate about like people doubting you of your desire, your goals, and your self improvement about all around you.
Mm-hmm.
But that person actually do it, it's gonna bite them in the ass because you just doubt that person. So right there, like you actually achieve something to yourself more than you don't have to achieve something like because they ask you to, they're telling you to. So right there, I don't like that. I like how you said it, but I've been seeing people doing that, down that person,
All right,
and
true.
that's like I hate about that.
True, true. We do sound like some haters sometimes, right? I know EJ love pointing out that we sound like haters, but
No, I mean, I don't mean if you're driven by women. I mean, this is something I was actually going to say. Um, like a lot of guys start going to the gym first because they want to get women, right? But then
right.
usually it expands beyond that. Like my point is, it's like I'm trying to see how I can say this without
I
sounding
mean,
like
if that wants to be, like I still would even like knock that. Like if somebody wants to include that in part of their fitness journey, like yeah, I want to get women. That shouldn't be.
yeah,
I'm not gonna say rule that out, but it shouldn't be the primary focus or the primary reason. It
See,
should just be more of like an added bonus or like a perk. Oh, like yeah, I'm ripped, and that might help my encounters more women because I lack the social skills to keep up a
yeah,
conversation. You know.
ultimately, I think it's the idea of what your journey like means to you, right? So let's keep on this topic since like I like to keep things simple, right? Say your goal is to go to the gym to acquire women or whatever goofiness, right? Like the reason that I am like doubtful of other people's goals is when I ask you what happens when you hit the end and you tell me you're done, I feel like you're not truly on that self improvement journey because the self improvement is a continuous thing, right? Like you don't hit the gym, get healthy, get into a relationship, and you go right back and revert yourself, right? Like that's not the goal. If
see, but
if
what
you
do you?
hit your goal, right? Like say you go to the gym so you can like get a girlfriend, then you get your girlfriend and you stay living that healthy lifestyle, then like I'm not gonna knock you on your goals. But if you're telling me that you're gonna get your girlfriend and you going right back to your bullshit, then it's like
Yeah, that's a problem.
that's what I'm hating on really. Like when your goals aren't like leading you to actually improve
I
yourself.
remember. I remember. It's funny you say that. I remember. And Perp knows who this is. You know Damian Lillard, right? Perp, basketball player.
Yeah.
So I remember. He was in an interview saying this about how like they asked him about like why do you like even with everything you got like the sponsorships, the big contract, like how do you still like show up for work every day and stay determined? You know what I'm saying? Like still be on your grind and not get too too full of yourself or less motivated as a result because have already like you got there, you got to the end of the road. And he was saying that like I know that this is the reason why I was able to get all this, why I was able to get not Well, we said woman, but that's not that. It wasn't a part of his response. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you don't
let's
gotta
say,
you don't gotta
yeah,
continue for other
yeah,
people's
let's say,
responses, bro.
yeah, but yeah, let's say like, yeah, I've got the woman, I got the whatever it is, whatever that thing is, I got it, but that was only because of like the work that I put in. So it's like, why would I go away from that when this is what I get? Like, this is what helped me get to this point to begin with. And I know if I didn't do these things, I would never have this. I would never be able like so. I am only allowed to live this life that my work has afforded me to live. And that's just the way to look at it. Like if you
Yeah.
step away from that, then
Yeah.
I mean, for some people, even if like you said, oh, like they got the girl now, they could just the girl will still accept them even if they go back because they have a lot of money. But I feel like it's a perspective thing. When you look
Yeah.
at it as like, nah, I've only got to this point. Like you really start to appreciate what work does for you and the results that you get from putting in the work.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, part of it is like the main thing I think when you're completely driven by that reward system or whatever it is, like women, money, whatever, right? You have the danger of when you get that thing. I remember we made a video talking about this, where your skills can start to go on the decline, or whatever you acquired, whatever skill you use to get this thing goes on the decline because you already have what you were seeking all this time. And that's one of the dangers of it. And it's also like, because as much as we live in a physical world, we also live in like a, how's the word? How do I
You
say this?
gonna
Like a
say the Matrix?
metaphysical world.
We live in the
Right?
Yeah.
Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, we do. We do.
It sound like you about
Yeah.
to say Matrix.
But we live in like a metaphysical world. You know, just to be funny, to get in the Tate thing, I'll say Matrix. We live in a Matrix. So like basically, when you do things, they're not like the things that really feel rewarding to you, and this depends on your personality. Some people are different, they are very concrete people. The things that feel more rewarding are the things that actually speak to you on like a deep internal level. So like you can sit there and do something for all this material stuff, but then that material stuff starts to feel hollow and it just doesn't feel the same. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't do the meaningful things to get those material stuff. Like even you look at Dan Bilzerian, although this taps into something else. You know, he had all these women, he had all this fucking money, he had all the stuff money could buy, and he was unhappy. Like he spoke about this, like he couldn't be happy about it anymore because the material things they can only
Yeah.
make you happy for so long, you know? Yeah.
Cap.
Yeah,
I
that
love my
feeling, that
material
feel, that
things.
feeling, that feeling fades away. That feeling that you thought it would bring you of like this just endless joy.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll always be this happy person because you have all this. That it fades away because, like you said, it's just something that's temporary. Like the women, the materialistic items. It's not a permanent feeling. Like
Yeah.
like when we go out and when we go out drinking and hang out, like those is like memories, but like those is like permanent feelings. Like I'll never go out and be like, yeah, like I don't like I'm not having fun. Like
Yeah.
that to me, that just brings me joy. Like that's why I keep doing those things because I know it's not gonna
You
like
know,
fade. It's not gonna fade away.
you know what's
Yep.
funny? The talking to women thing, right? When we would go out there and we talk to women, the times when it was most fun is when it wasn't like this thing we were doing because like we're going out there to talk to women. Like I guess we're thinking about it that way, but it was more of like a game, like just a fun thing we used to
Yeah,
do.
Ah.
And then that made it like if because one, it's like even if you lose, you don't even care that much because it's just a game. You know, like it doesn't really matter that much to you. And then it's fun as you're doing it. But then when you start thinking about it too literally and too physically, like you're out there to try and get chicks, then it just becomes this annoying
Yeah,
thing that wait.
it's weird. And I actually someone asked me like literally, I think it was yesterday. I was joking about like how we could hit the club right now. They're like, "Yo, you wanna?" I was like, "TBH, no. Like I have zero desire to do that. Like to
Yeah,
just
same.
go to the club by myself or with one other person, that shit's lame." But if the boys were like, "Yo, we outside," that's a completely different situation, right?
yeah,
That's a completely different situation. I'm like, I'll pull up, like, I'll show up,
yeah.
cause like,
I
Because
can't.
I mean, look
I
at
can't
Rev.
roll
How
with that.
he Rev goes out and he does his shit. When he's doing that shit, he's doing it for the sake of it, like for the fun of it.
that
Like
is his
he's not
pastime.
even
That's his
driven
hobby,
by the
bro.
results.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going outside is
He
his
do he
hobby.
do it by himself,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. If somebody's
He
with
just
him,
likes
don't
doing
matter.
it. He just enjoys it.
He
Yeah.
like being outside. That he built different. I can be
Yeah.
outside
I
that
wanna
often.
I wanna ask a question to y'all.
Go ahead.
And because Eric, he actually brought a topic for me. And it's the same topic we were talking about. What is like? Who is your famous person? famous person to like look up to.
Oh,
To
like who
actually
inspires you and shit
who
like that?
inspires you, who actually because me as for myself, my favorite person like I look up to and inspires me all the time, and I would watch all his movies, even his documentary. It's Denzel Washington. Can't lie.
Mhm.
He
Great
actually,
choice.
I would say it's not most about relationships. It's not most about the problems. It's most about your goals. Waking up the time because what he said every single time, every morning, you gotta like wake up, do your routine, and get out there and accomplish it. And they just look up to me and like, yo, every single time he says those words and or say those different kind of words, it inspired me. It's like, yo, I gotta keep watching these movies. I gotta keep looking up myself. I can't be down. I would never like as myself. I never get mad. I never get mad. I don't even get mad. I walk away all the madness because when I get mad, nobody likes it. So I just point on. I was just like, you know what? I'm hype. I'm be hypey every single day, and that's what I'm looking for. Like, so what? Who is y'all inspired? Who's that person?
We actually touched on this before, and I said I don't really like think of people like that, right?
Yeah.
And I still kind of don't, but you know, to give an actual answer, I because Vanguard here forced this pan on me, so I'm gonna say it was Kanye, because it's not even like really like Kanye as a person, because that nigga crazy.
That's like I feel like you just misunderstood when I was asking you the question. Like I wasn't saying you look up at this nigga, you want to do as he does. More so, he
Yeah.
just uplifts you. You know.
Kanye is the first side.
And you could take one particular thing from a prayer. It doesn't have to be everything.
Well,
Like,
let me
Exactly.
tell you
one
what the thing
source of
is.
inspiration.
Let me tell you
But
what the thing
Kanye
is.
uplifts you.
It's the story of Kanye, right? Because this nigga, he just had such a fat head. He really looked at people who were he looked at like the greats of his time and was like, I'm next. He literally just looked at him and was like, I'm next. And they're like, laugh at him, bro. They literally laugh at him. He's like, why y'all laughing, bro? I'm dead ass. And then he was fucking next. Like, so I guess it's that, the story of Kanye. And like a lot of it, you can hear it in his music, especially like the first 3 albums he was talking about it, where he's like, niggas did not believe in me, bro. No one believed in me, but here I am. Fuck you. I'm out here. So that part of Kanye, that idea that he's just gonna do something outlandish and it's gonna work out eventually. So I fuck with that.
I mean, man, if I had that question is actually very hard for me to answer. But at different points of my life, there were different people who inspired me. Like when I was a little kid, back when I was when I was warped in the head as I was telling EJ and Ray those stories. The kind of niggas that inspired me when I was a kid were niggas that should not inspire anybody. So you had people like Lex Luthor, fucking like yo. To this day, when I'm reading Death Note and I see Light doing some bullshit, I'm like, man, this reminds me of when I was a kid. I was like, these are the kind of things I was doing. Like
Super
fucking
villain
these
origin
people
story
that-
right here.
Well, then I grew out of that.
No,
and I'm
he
like,
didn't. No, he
I mean, I
didn't.
still fuck with people. I still fuck with people, but not to the level I used to. But the people that inspire me now, like, because there are people. One of them was Booker T. Washington. Like Booker T. Washington is a very inspirational guy because his message that like of just taking what you have and acquiring skills and growing better and using that to better your life, and he believed that was the path towards like liberation for Black people, and it's like, and it's funny because like I said before, one of the funniest things I like about him is you can't really say that he also wasn't fighting the status quo because he did that in secret. Like he was funding like lawsuits against the status quo in secret while also preaching that the best way to do it was to better yourself. It's kind of like a very clean your room kind of thing, right? And then you have Malcolm X who had a very similar message to him. And Malcolm X is really fucking inspirational to me because he was just such a quick-witted guy who really knew how to speak. Like he knew how to speak.
It's crazy. Hold on, I gotta stop you there.
What?
It's MLK Day. You giving flowers to Malcolm. That's crazy.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, how you gonna shout this nigga's rival?
Yeah, don't even get me started on that. Fucking Malcolm X was the cooler one, okay? Like I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble.
He was the cooler older brother.
You got Virgin MLK.
Oh
Chad,
my god. Oh my god.
On his own day, man.
This man would have been at the funeral being like Crip Walkins, like, you know who not dead?
Malcolm X is dead. What are you talking about?
No, I meant like the day that MLK died.
Oh yeah, you're right. He died after. Yo, oh, man, the way he died was insane. They really violated Malcolm X. But anyways, let's move on from that. They violated him.
They violated
But
a lot of
anyways,
people.
Hmm?
They violated a lot of people.
You saw the Malcolm X. They did not need that many people to kill one man.
They didn't.
They violated. But anyways,
All I'm saying is
they
he might have been
killed him
on
like
to something.
They killed him like he was some gangbanger out there in like Oakland or some shit. Like that's how they killed him.
Nah, you know they don't kill gangbangers. Gangbangers doing exactly what they want.
Oh, true. You're right. Anyways, the other person that inspires me is my fucking grandmother, because that woman is a force of nature.
I mean, he said famous people. We named the family members.
Man, his granny is famous. Go to his hood.
Granny famous. I give it to her.
I'm not even kidding.
Famous. Grandma's still famous.
To me, my grandmother is like a fucking legend. Like she's like a force. She's like a
urban legend.
Legend. She's like the Virgin Mary or something. Like literally, when I will literally be thinking of something and remember my grandmother and go, "That's why I have to do this." Because like this woman is a black woman growing up in the 1960s. She loses her job because she trained some woman and they replace her with some white woman. Lose her job. This woman goes and starts her own business. She's like, yeah, I'm not working for anybody anymore. She goes and starts her own business. Then she goes, I should just buy this entire fucking building that my shop is in. She saves up money. She does that shit too. Then she goes, you know where other money might be? I should start buying houses and doing that shit too. She starts doing that. She's like, you know what? I should start a restaurant. She does that too. She would just set her sights on something and just do that shit. Just do it. And it's like she just didn't care. And she was like, and also she was just a very like helpful person. So that's why she became kind of a legend in her community. Like people remember her name to this day. Like when she died, it was like this big thing. Because she would take like fucking crackheads off the street and like, you know, dress them, clean, make sure they were clean, give them food. That she just did that stuff just for fun, right? It's real funny though, because she was mean to her own children, but that's a story for another time. But beyond her, because she's the one who drove me to really do the things that I want to do. I guess you guys know it's obviously Eric July is one of those inspirational. That guy's very inspirational to me. Because like
time you mentioned him. This
man is kind of like my grandmother in that he just does shit. And it's like you said about Kanye. This man has a big fucking head. This man does not let. If you try to come for him, you're gonna get roasted. He's gonna burn you. He's gonna set fire to you. And it's really interesting because like you always hear people talking about how you should be humble and that's how you reach success. But then I look at a guy like him and he's not humble at all. He's not humble at all. It's like if you're a detractor to him, he would be like, "Shut the fuck up, you suck." Like fuck you.
Oh dang.
But he just does stuff. Like when he says he's gonna do something, it actually happens. Like I remember he announced he used to make YouTube videos criticizing the comic book industry all the time. But then after a while he got tired of it. He stopped reading the material because he just couldn't do it anymore. Like it was just not doing anything but making his life negative. And it's funny, we both stopped reading the material around the same time. I didn't start doing it because of him. I just, as like he did, got fucking tired of it. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Nah, I stopped reading DC and Marvel comics too. Like
Yeah.
I didn't pick them up anymore.
Same time as he did.
You didn't pick up anymore.
What was that?
Yeah, I didn't pick them.
You didn't pick up anymore? What's going on?
No.
Pick up the comics, you degenerate.
The last comic I read was the one that me and Ray were talking about. I'm reading the God Butcher arc right now, and that's pretty cool. But I know everything goes down.
That literally happened right. That arc ended right when you would have stopped reading comics. Like the very next thing is we were in high school when that shit dropped, right? Like the Lady Thor thing. We were in high school.
No, Lady Thor happened in like 2014, 2013. No, like 2014.
That was our last year of high school.
Yeah. And I think I can't remember when I stopped reading because I was even reading parts of the New 52. I didn't read
52.
But what I was gonna say though is Eric July, right? He stops reading comics. This man announces that he's gonna start his own comic book company. Much like you said, Ray, people they're like, oh, he'll never do that shit. Oh, he's not gonna do that shit. He does it. They're like, oh, he's not even gonna make 1,000 sales, or like they're like, he's not even gonna make this whatever 1,000 sales. He makes triple whatever what they said he wasn't gonna make. They're like, oh, really? Well, he's not gonna last long. And every time they said something against him, it was like he took that shit personally and set out to disprove it. He's like, nah. Oh, you say, oh, really? Word, word. All right, I got you. You know. So that's one of why he's so fucking inspirational. Yeah. Well, those are my
About you,
people.
E?
It's kind of like with Ray. I don't really look at famous people in that kind of light, but more like the people that's close to me. But if I had to like it's probably two names that like they inspired me in some form of fashion. Nas clearly. Um, I'll even throw MLK in there since you said Malcolm X. I'll throw MLK. Just learning about the work he's put in. That he put in as a life
Yeah.
in his personal life, and like he taught me. He was like one of the one of those figures growing up that like I learned what a martyr is, and really dying for what you believe in, and the kind of strength that it takes to live that life. So shout out to MLK for that, and just him promoting togetherness. There's a lot of divisiveness in this country when it comes to political issues. So just seeing him trying to bridge people together and be a source of light, definitely played a part in me having that mindset of like trying to not like, even when I'm around my group of friends and we get into arguments and stuff like that, but knowing that it's all love and little stuff like that. So he's one of them. And I said Nas mainly because of like songs that I've heard when I was just going through it at times, and it was just, for some reason, it was just what I wanted to hear. Like he had talked about things that I was able to relate to at the time. So that got me through some stuff. And then the third person I probably had to say another rapper by the name of Cormega. He's also another rapper from Queens, and his music changed over time. Like early on in his career, he just talked about the streets and his environment and selling drugs and all that. But then, like, as the years went on, you could see like his growth as a person, not only just an artist but as a person, and having kids and relationship issues. And he's made what I consider to be adult contemporary music, in the sense of like talking about adult issues more, and just like trying to show people that you could have the celebrity status and you can be rich and you can have all these things, but like he's still in touch with people from his community, and he doesn't treat anybody less than that's not on his status. And he's very grounded. Like, if you've seen any of his interviews, he's talked about like he's still be in New York, like taking the trains and stuff. Like, I don't know how often, but he said that like he's never. I remember he had a story about like how he rented I think he rented a crib out, and it was him and a couple of his friends, and he was the one that slept on the floor. Like, he volunteered to sleep on the floor. Like, he doesn't have an ego whatsoever, you know. So it's like every time I hear him speak about that, like it makes me like appreciate that, but also like try to apply it in my own life in terms of like being humble and treating people with respect and not looking down upon them. So I'll give it to those three for sure.
What's funny about having an ego, right? It's like when you have an ego for no reason, you just have it to have it, it's useless, right? But then you have those people who they have an ego and it's like directed towards good. And like they
Or
want to
you.
do good things, but it's like they're so fucking confident that they really think they're like, I know I can do it. You know, like those kind of people.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Nah, I
That
won't even
weird.
lie. That was the mindset that I had when I was making this damn like sculpture thing. Like, at first I was like, damn, this is too hard. I can't do this. And I don't know what happened, but I was like, I can do anything. And I started banging this shit out, bro. I was making up techniques. I was like, oh yeah, I remember they do it this way. Man, it's just, you gotta believe in yourself. You always gotta believe in
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
I got a question actually. Since we was on the topic of self improvement, what is like one? If you could pick one thing in your life right now that you want to improve upon, what would it be?
Um,
We
I
all go
gotta,
around and then
I
say
gotta
that.
get better friends, man. I gotta get rid of the people in my life right now.
Oh, is it?
I'm just playing.
me too, man. Me too.
Yeah, one thing I definitely want to. It's like I'm kind of working on the things already.
Yeah,
So I
no,
don't know. I don't
same.
want
I
to
was
list
like,
something I'm already doing. Should I list something that I'm not doing? Oh, all right. So actually, this is perfect. So, like, I'm always trying to work on my social skills, and it's weird because I have social skills, but the thing is, the motivation to go out there and like talk to random people is the part that I'm missing. But when I'm thrust into a situation where I have to do that, I do just fine, right? Like whenever the situation's right in front of me, but I want to make it so that I actually go out and seek those. So like I was thinking in my head at first, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and add that to the list, but I was like, nah, if I have too many things going on at once, I'm gonna fuck up in certain things, and then I'm gonna get angry that I fucked up in one thing. I was like, I gotta narrow my focus. So my thought was after the monk mode period, I was like, I'll then start trying to work on that because I was like, it'll be even easier with all the confidence that came from accomplishing the other things. This is just gonna be another thing on the list. Like I'm gonna be able to easily do it, you know? Yeah. So that's what I want to work on next. The
what a whack ass
talking to
answer, bro.
random
Come on.
people.
You want to go talk to strangers? Your mama just told you not to do that, bro. But no,
Actually, we're talking to strangers right now. I'm just starting to know y'all.
especially strangers on the internet. Oh my god, yo, all those PDSAs back in the 2000s ain't do shit.
Maybe not.
um, no, something I want to improve on. Yeah, no, I constantly mention like going to the gym and shit. So I want to mention something different. I guess finishing things. Like I like start things sometimes and I never finish it. Right? Like I want to like just pick something and completely like finish it.
I'm gonna snap to that. That's something I'm also trying to do. I have mad shit that I
Same.
even like a lot of shows that I want to finish.
Bro, earlier today, like I realized I didn't finish the show, and I was like, "What the fuck? I didn't finish the show." And I looked; it was only 12. I was like, just "Play, let's go, let's just finish it right now."
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna continue with that, but cut that show off because I can't. As you just said, you finish the show. Like, yeah, I've been realizing that we having COVID. Everything stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So when everything stopped, that means the show stops, TV, movies, like everything stops. So I'm not trying to finish that show because I'm on to the next. I'm basically on to the next show. Like I'm very interested to watch. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that show another time at the moment. But
Fuck
but
that
what you
show.
said, finishing things, yeah, I can't. I agree with that. That's
Yeah.
not my fingers on that one. But I can't finish a job. I can't finish the job. I can't stay long. I can't stay along like over a year. It's over got to be underneath a year because it gets boring to me.
You talking
It's
about
not.
shows specifically, or
No,
in
I'm done
general?
with the shows. I'm done with the shows because but in general, I can't finish a job. Like real talk in general, I
Stay
can't
with a job,
work,
yeah.
stay at work that long. Like right now, I'm working at Amazon. Like, I could tell I can't finish that job. It's cold,
Oh, all
so
right.
yeah.
Job
So right
retention.
now, I could say like good another 7 months or 8. But right now, I'm trying to get into the PC, trying to get into the game. That's one I want to do. That's a future I want to do because that's what I really like. I like something I want to do. I've been doing every single job less than a year, but I've been doing every single job. You name it, you got it. But as for me, like yes, finishing things, that's for me. And I would say sometimes like yeah, I don't want to be lonely. I don't want to be lonely. Like I need like I got homies, I got friends, I got family, but sometimes you at that one night it's clipped. Like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
bored. Like, where my bitches at?
little off the
So
henny, you
yeah,
just like, damn, this
yeah,
bed kind of
like yo,
big.
like I got the weed, I got the drinks, I got the
The
you name it, you
hookah,
got
the
it.
hookah,
Like
your shit,
the
the
hookah, you know
hookah.
what I'm saying? I got that on the side. Like it gets bored, it gets lonely, and I need somebody a partner with. You know what I'm saying? I had one, I lost it. Now I just gotta move on. I've been single for a while, so that's why it's like those are the two things I'm trying to like get my self improvement. You
Mhm.
know,
What
but
about you, Jay?
The main thing is just develop more life skills. I mean, you kind of you talked about that with the social skills. It's not really. I mean, I feel like that's like that's a thing that unless you're like just a conversationalist constantly, and I always feel like that's something that somebody can improve upon.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's ever a point where you're like just satisfied with it. So but I just want to develop more life skills.
Define
I
that.
want to make
Like what?
I would say any skill that would aid me in being more self-sufficient. Um I can't really think of one at the
Also,
moment.
like
Cooking?
cooking or
Yeah,
something.
cooking.
Yeah, but like I could cook, but I want to
Oh, you
get
can
better at
cook?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could cook. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Cook a
we
little
gonna have
bit.
to we gonna have to
I'm
test
saying
that.
I can't bake. You know what I'm saying? Like you can teach me how to bake. You was talking about baking pies. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I can't bake. So you know that would be something that's
that's real
helpful.
easy.
Uh, just develop more life skills so I could
We
be,
should, we should
more
set it up. We should set up like a baking
We
thing.
could
They should
we
teach
could
us
do
all
a.
how to.
bake
I
off.
I mean we could do like a potluck but if you want to do like a coaching lesson, yeah, we could be like, all
Yeah.
right, Chef EJ
yeah,
showing us how to.
I'm gonna let y'all go on that one.
This man Ray
Can't
charged by the hour.
The brother over here can't cook, can't bake. Get me away from the kitchen. That's why I got two
Yeah.
chefs. I got two chefs in this room.
Yeah, when you get that girlfriend of yours, she can do all the cooking for you.
Exactly, exactly. You know, I take
Man.
good care of you. Just the only one thing, just cook for me. You know, I got
Look,
you.
man, that's what partnership's about. It's like, look, man, I can't do this, you can't do that. Let's work together.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, it's funny though, 'cause, like, it really, even if the girl, it's so funny that women always talk about like how their place is not to cook and all that kind of shit, right? But every girl I've ever dated, even if they're not cooking for me, they find ways to give me food. It's like they
Oh
all
yeah, they like
know.
buy you food. They like buy you
They
food.
give me
They'll go out of
food.
their way to buy you food.
Exactly. Yeah, and the first question they'll always ask you, "Did you eat? Have you eaten?" Shit like that. I'm just like,
Oh
like they
yeah,
always want
they
me to
love to
eat.
ask, "Are you hungry?" They love to ask that shit. And it's like,
Oh
mm-hmm,
man, but
Yeah,
it's something
I
to,
just want to develop those though.
yeah,
But yeah.
mm-hmm.
yeah, those life skills. Yeah, I mean, we all can agree with that. We all have life skills we want to develop. Everyone has a little few life
Yeah,
skills.
it's not so much like acquiring them; it's just more of like I have them, and
Develop them. Yeah,
I just want to,
Yeah,
make them
put them
more
more into
refined.
practice, right?
Yeah,
yeah. But it's funny that that Perp's goal is to get a girlfriend, and my goal is to avoid that for as long as
Oh
possible.
yeah. Back to that. Back to that. I was like wondering. I was like, could we add that? Is finding a relationship part of self improving?
You know what?
it might have
I
to be. Yeah,
Because
so
Perp's
so
talking about
so
it like
my
it's like a self improvement thing.
so
So
my perspective, because my perspective on this is obviously going to be unique, because you guys know my views and all this kind of
I
shit
don't think
already.
it's that
So
unique. I don't
we're
know,
gonna,
yeah.
man. Andrew
I
Tate
don't.
no, I
sounded
mean among
Yeah,
Andrew
us,
Tate right over there.
yeah.
it's going to be unique among us, right? But I do actually think that finding a relationship can be considered self improvement, because there are aspects of you that have to grow as a person and things that have to be removed from you in order for you to be right for a person. And even your reasoning ability has to go up so you can find the right kind of partner. So, like, it can actually be a self improvement endeavor if you go about it the right way. Yeah.
DJ.
Did I again?
Oh wow, this ain't like paying attention. Oh
Nah,
wow.
somebody sent me a message. My fault.
No, I was asking, like, can finding a partner be part of self improvement? Vanguard
Yeah,
is like,
definitely.
it could be.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. The main reason why I would say yeah is because um again, it goes back to your intention. That might be the wrong intention, but if that's what it takes for you to like work on things that you've been needed to work on, uh, it might be like, damn, I want to get a girl, so let me get a job, or let me clean up, let me start dressing better. Like, these are things that will be able that will improve yourself, but uh I might not agree with the road that you're trying to get to, like the end result. But as far as it improving yourself, definitely. But it would just lead you somewhere that I don't know. Maybe that might not be a bad goal anyways. Because let's say like some people envision themselves as being at their best self when they're in a relationship. They might take on like this. They see it as like an added responsibility. Like now I got a girl and I got to be on top of my game. And now I'm not like I'm not just reflecting myself, but I'm reflecting her when we're together. So somebody might look at that a little bit differently, and see that as a way to like be their best self.
I mean,
So I
it's like
yeah.
yeah, it's like they say, from a biological perspective, females are the deciders of the species. Like they decide what genes go on. So it's like, in order to get a good woman, you have no choice but to become a good man. You have to become a good man for her to choose. So you have to improve as a result.
All right, all right. I can agree with that. To recap, so far we got the steps to self improvement are from our consensus are realizing you need to improve, gathering information, figuring out your real intentions, right? Like guiding you, like guided information, right? Weeding through your desires. Are we on step 5? Did we do step 5?
Do
Did
we need?
you include like pouring through that information to see if it's credible or not? Would that be its own
I mean,
step?
like
Would that be a part of it?
I would just because like we could break down every single step into
Yeah.
infinite steps,
I mean,
really,
let's say
right?
cutting away
Yeah,
the fat is already pouring through that information.
Yeah, like
yeah.
List the steps again.
those realizing you need to improve,
Okay.
gathering information, like all the information, like just gathering it, right?
Okay.
Cutting through the fat. Step
Yeah.
4 was going through your own like desires and like focusing on like, what do you really want to improve on.
Oh, step 5 would be applying the shit you learned.
All right, there we go. All right, that's
That's
the podcast right there. That's all the steps you need. All right, no, I'm
Yeah.
joking. So
that's the fifth step.
I,
Because so
I,
many people will sit there and become these self-improvement junkies and absorb mad self-improvement stuff. Try something for a week, try something else for a week, try something for 2 days, and they're not doing shit. They're in the same place. They're just trying different fads.
I,
not
I was gonna say too, getting a girl, like going back to that, or even like just the idea of having to be in some ways responsible for something, like even if you get a pet, like I feel like like I said, you take on this.
Over the fence?
No, no, not at all, not at all,
Oh man, this
not at
man and
all.
me on the same page.
I'm
You
just,
said that, I was like, oh
no,
man,
no,
bro.
no. I'm
I see
saying,
how
I'm
you think of
saying,
your girls, EJ.
no, I'm saying in the sense of like taking on.
It's like when Entertainment was comparing the women to cars. Remember?
Man, don't let this man down there portray me as something I'm not, man. This man hate women. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of respect for the ladies out there, man.
Nah,
This
it's
man hate women.
it's all jokes. Nah, it's all jokes. Nah, I get what you
But
mean. You're talking about the responsibility of like caring for
yeah,
something else.
yeah, like you want to do right by that person, just like you want to do right by a pet. You want to do right by a family member. You want to do right by like you're given that responsibility, and because you're given that responsibility, it's making you do things that you weren't previously doing because you want to do right by them. So now you end up being like it's like damn, like I could slack on myself, right? Like I could be a little bit like lazy, right? Or I could fail myself, which is necessarily the wrong way to think about it, because you should do right by yourself before you do right by anybody else. But for some people it's just more of like that mentality of like damn, like even if I'm just failing myself, so it's only affecting me. But the minute I like my actions start affecting somebody else, like even if I have a kid like or a pet, it's like yeah, it takes on it's more than me, like it's bigger than me. So like it has a more larger impact, and because of that, it's like they don't want to see the failures, affect someone else, and that to them that's enough of like a motivation to like stay on the right course and be doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Nah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Because one of the main reasons why I don't have a pet is I realized that I would start doing a lot of different shit to make sure that pet is living its good, like its best life, right?
Yeah,
And I was like, that's just the responsibility I did not want to have. And it got me thinking, it's like, when you start having like a kid or a girlfriend or everything, like, is it even self improvement or anymore if you're improving for someone else?
I think it depends.
No.
I think it
It's almost like an indirect. It's like an indirect effect.
Because
It's
like,
like
yeah, I'm
I
improving
have to.
myself, but like, who's it
Yeah.
for? Like,
No. You
Just like the thing is,
no, wait,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Perp would know. He a father, so he can speak on it.
all right. First, like, yeah, I didn't expect it, but I wanted it. I wanted a daughter when I came back home in New York. So I improved myself. I really was ready. I was ready to actually be ready to have a child in my life. Life life is short, so being improvement, having someone, a female, kid, child, pet, anybody next to you, that's self improvement. It's self improvement to yourself and self improvement to each other, because that person will actually help you guide you down the road. You know, anything. So right there, like my child, right there, I was happy as hype. I accomplished. I wanted. I. I'm not saying she's a goal. I would say she's a trophy. Uh, like that sunlight beams to my face. Like I can't say the word, but I would say she's a beautiful daughter I have, and I would never, I would never end. Like I would do anything to, I would do anything.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right there,
Um,
it's like that spotlight that shine to your face. That would hit you that moment. Like, yep, right there. That's all I need. That's all I
yeah.
need.
But yeah, the push you need, yeah. And I've heard a lot of fathers say this. Like it
Yeah,
was
me
like
too.
before like how their life was previously. They were just like, yeah, there were things I wanted to work on, you know. But then it's like when they have a kid, it's like it's like a whole bunch of alarm systems went off in the background. It's like, damn, I gotta be on my A game now. I gotta do right. Like, nah, I can't have my kid going through this. Like, it wasn't enough for me to just be going through it. Like now, there's somebody else in the picture, and I have to make sure that everything is in sync and everything that I've ever strived to do, I'm going towards because I want my child to live the best life possible. And
Yeah.
what that sense of urgency doesn't what sense of urgency will hit more than having a kid, right? Than having a family. So
You know, I mean, speaking on the relationship aspect of this, um, if one of the areas of your life you want to improve in is, having a significant other, like you literally want to find someone, then like you can consider the steps towards getting that thing improvement because that's one of the things on your list. And then as a result, like I said, if you're actually going about it the right way, finding a partner, you actually go you want to form a stable relationship and you want this relationship to last, then you will have to evolve as a person in order for this to happen. Like you can't just walk because relationship is not going to be fucking, what's the word they always use? The phrase they always use was it roses and whatever. It's not going to be just like daisies and rainbows, Like
You
it's
can
like
say that.
yeah, a relationship is fucking hard. It's a hard. It takes a lot of effort and work,
responsibility.
responsibility. So you will have to evolve as a person in order to have a good relationship. Which is why I
and
kept trying to
and
go
right
for it.
there, I agree with you, but I gotta stop you a little bit.
Yeah.
Certain relationships like that. Certain relationships like that.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that like you don't have to. You just got to make that person happy. You make that person happy, you all good. You make that person feel comfortable, you're good. That's how you make the relationship good as wise.
Yeah.
But certain relationships like that. You got to like. It's not responsibility. It's that person got to do that on part as a relationship during
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
relationship.
that's the word. Like it takes
That's
two
the word.
sides, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta
I think I get what he was saying. He was saying like the responsibility should 100% be on you to make it work. But
yeah,
it's
you both
like you
gotta
said, it's a both even. Yeah.
well,
evenly
even
balanced.
that's the part where choosing the right partner comes in. Because
Yeah,
most of the time you meet someone, they're gonna tell you right away who they are. Like they do it a lot. Like I meet people, I'll meet women, they'll say shit right away. They're telling me things about themselves without knowing what they're telling me, but they're telling me. You know
men
what I
too,
mean?
men too, bro. The amount of times I've
Very
had
true,
someone like just say the foulest shit, I'm like, this is a piece of shit. This is a piece of shit. But my friend is crushing on them, and they're like looking at them star eyes, like, you not hear that this man is atrocious. How are you crushing on him, bro? What? This is Satan. But you know, it's easy to ignore things when you're wearing rose-colored glasses, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like when you're young, the people you date are gonna be shitty. Like it's like you're not gonna make great choices in relationship partners when you're young. And there's
Definitely not.
sometimes, yeah, there's sometimes where I want to like because I mean, like I like to say, I don't want to give our exact ages, but like me and Ray were almost 30 years old. Like that we were thinking about that
God,
the
my
other day.
back hurt as you said that. Oh my.
You know what I was talking to this girl, told her I was 25. You know what this girl said to me? How does it feel for a quarter of your life to be over already? I was like, oh. I was
Damn.
like
Damn.
that hit me.
Damn.
But did I,
Like,
did I just
You
hear
should have
glass
smacked the
crack?
shit out of her. It's like, why would you say that?
yeah, it hurt my feelings for a second.
It sounded like some glass cracked in the background.
Oh no. But anyways, so like I remember that there are people I know, and they'll be telling me about their relationships and how they're like, this is the one, like I'm gonna make this work, blah blah blah. And then I'll reflect on how old they are, right? And this would be a person who's like 21 or 22, and I was like, I'm just like, yeah, watch 3 years time, you're gonna
I won't
gonna
say
break
it's
up with that
impossible to
person.
make it work though, but like if you have to like in your mind say I'm going to make this work, then I feel you're already on the wrong path there. Because
Yeah,
like it should be we're gonna make this work, you know? Like shit,
yeah,
like not to sound like a Hallmark card or nothing, but it really be like that. Like if you're putting in all the effort, clearly the relationship is not like
yeah.
the other
Like,
person isn't there.
there's this thing I say to the girls at work all the time, right? And this is like mostly a jab at them, like I'm making fun of them. But I'm like, your men are domesticated, is what I tell them. I was like, their men are domesticated, and that's a part of when you get in a relationship, you have to tame the beast a little bit. You can't be the same monster, like not that you're a monster, but like you can't be the same savage that you were before. Like you now have to be softer. You have to show the gentler side, that kind of stuff. You can't just carry on with that same like uber macho kind of personality you might have had before the relationship. So that's another thing that you have to do. Like both sides now have to start to calm down and try to make compromises. Like every once in a while you're sitting there, you want to watch the football game, or you want to watch some wrestling or some
Yeah.
UFC. She want to sit on the couch with you and watch a Hallmark movie, and you're just like,
That's why you get two
I would rather
TVs,
do
nigga.
anything else.
That's why you get two TVs. I know what you're talking about. Bro, you
Like,
don't
I
know
would rather
TVs
do
nowadays got
anything else.
picture in picture, bro. You can watch
Yeah.
two things on one screen, baby.
True. But it's like
Right,
I have those
right
moments.
there. That's the thing I want to ask. Does fighting in general and fighting that person or arguing with that person going tick the chat self-improvement?
I feel it depends on the kind of argument that you're having, right? Like
Oh,
if
well, no, see, there are two
Oh,
ways.
hold on. Let Ray finish. I want to
Sorry,
see
go-
where he's going with that.
Sorry, Ray. Sorry.
yeah, I mean it's like if you are arguing or like I don't even want to like put in the idea that you're like yelling at each other, right? That if you're having a discussion about something, right? Like it's been on my mind, it's been on your mind, or no. For actual example, this lady posted in this like app I'm on. She was like, me and my husband, we're not spending enough quality time together. Like he's like always in the house, he's playing his games or this, that, and the third, and like I want to do like XYZ. Everyone in the comments were like, him being in the house with you to him is probably quality time, and you just aren't like expressing yourself that you want to do more like outdoor shit or like a very specific activity together. So it's like you got to go and define what that means. So like here she was having this sort of like argument or like having this like issue in her relationship, and like it didn't stem from like them not spending time together. It was just they had different ideas of what spending time
Ideas,
together
yeah.
meant.
Yeah.
So I should go see if there was a follow up to see if she like talked about it.
I mean, yeah.
But like, oh yeah, quickly to in the final part. But if you're like arguing over like if you're like cats and dogs because you wanted Chipotle but he wanted KFC, that's not self improvement. That's just childish shit. Like what do you you really getting heated because you had Chipotle again? Like you getting heated. It's like he always wants Chipotle. He never wants to do what I want. Like there's some bigger issue there. It's not about the Chipotle.
Yeah, that was exactly my point. Where it's like if you guys are having discussions which clarify your relationship, clarify boundaries, things you want to do, like even if it's not like the quality time is a great example, but it's like even if it's something where it's like there's something that your partner does that you don't like. Like actually funny that you mentioned that this came up because a girl was just telling me about this. I was talking to this girl, not in that way, like we're friends. And she was telling me about this guy that she was seeing and like she was telling me about how she would change aspects of herself in order to make this guy feel better. Like there were things he did not like that he like mentioned to her. So she would stop doing those things in order to make him, to not
Can I
annoy him.
ask what?
But then, huh?
Can I ask what?
I don't remember if she told me the specific things, but I think one of them was something like, "Oh, I think she would be playful and like playful insult, like the way we are. We play around and we insult each other." I think one of the things she did was that, and she's just kind of playful, like she didn't mean anything by it. She does that shit with me, and we just go back and forth. We just start insulting each other as a joke, right? But he didn't like it, right? So he didn't like it, so she stopped, and which is good. He told her he clearly did not like something, and she stopped. But then when it came for him to stop doing things that she didn't like, he would never, never do it. It's like she would mention things that she didn't like, and he'd keep doing them like he didn't give a fuck. So she severed ties. She stopped seeing him because she realized that
Good. I'm
it
glad that
wasn't.
she did that. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
What about
Yeah.
you, E?
Definitely. I mean, if the conversations are productive, it's healthy to have. I mean, you use the word argument, but I would look at it depending on what the context of the argument is about. It's healthy to discuss these things, even if there's a lot of passion behind it. Both of you guys are frustrated, but if it leads to a positive outcome where, you guys both spoke at length about what the issue was, and it as a result led to a change in both of you guys' behavior, and now things are working out more smoothly. It's kind of hard to look at that and be like, well, yeah, we didn't, that wasn't necessary for us to go through for us to get to this point. And that's what it takes in a lot of relationships is having those conversations, even though it might be tough, it might be frustrating, it might be uncomfortable, but if you guys have plans on being together for a long time, that it's bound to happen. If you could go through that with a family member, then why not with a significant other?
Yeah,
So
there are healthy arguments. Like, argument
yeah,
doesn't have a negative or positive connotation. It's
Mhm.
just you put forth an idea and you discuss that idea, and argument usually
it's how
re-
it's how you argue. It's how you argue too.
exactly.
So sometimes people have that personality. We talked about it before about I think when Emilio was on and we were asking about like mean people and how they express themselves. Sometimes like you got people that just they're like they're always tense and they don't really know how to express things in a more in a more digestible way.
Yeah.
And they say it with rage, but it's coming if really know the person, it's coming from a place of love and care that they have for you. So
Or
you got some
even
people that are like that.
the way they phrase things, because even
Yeah.
I've been accused of that many times. The way they phrase things might be a little too blunt, and people won't like it. Because I get
Yeah.
accused of that shit a lot. I get
Yeah.
accused of that.
Yeah.
Just, you look at people like, why are you like this?
Yeah,
Nah,
Sometimes you gotta look through the tone and just digest the actual message behind
that's
it.
hard for people to do
The
though.
tone, the
Mm.
reaction
But
to make sure
Yeah.
like kind of
I'll
stuff.
never forget. I'll never forget that time when we were with our boy, and he said that thing about like he's like talking about how he might have gotten a girl pregnant to those two girls we were talking to, and I looked at him. I remember I looked at him, I was like, "Why would you?" And I just like go. I was like, "Why would you?" And then I just stopped.
Out here messing up the 2-man mission, bro.
I was like,
Self-destructed, just like
when he said that shit, I didn't know. Like, it was really like we said, it was something that just came out. Like, I didn't know how else to, because it was so perplexing, so confusing that I had
bro,
to
I won't
ask
even
him.
lie. If I was in this situation, I might have looked at him and go, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Might have just came out just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, why would you? Why did you?
But going back to what you mentioned, EJ, I'm not EJ, Vanguard, that girl. Yeah, I think it was really big of her to stop doing that one aspect of herself. And I was just wondering, it's like, do you think there are certain aspects of yourself that you can't compromise on?
Oh yeah. I mean, so things I have compromised on in the past, right? Like I've been nicer to women, as nice as someone like me can be anyway.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I've been nicer to women when like the one of the girls I'm talking to right now, I'm very kind to her. I'm very respectful. I don't really like I mean I do make fun of her shit a lot though. Like her interest, I make fun of them very often. But like she can tell that it's kind of out of jest and I'm playing around. But things I will never change about myself, and I've had people try to change. It's like I will develop like people will try to get me to rush. I don't know how to explain this. They'll like when people try to get me to be someone that I'm not, like try to get me to change my style or something like that, or like even get me to do things that I just normally would not be into. I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Like,
I know where you're getting at. Yeah.
yeah, try to get
It's
me to
kind
like
of vague, but do you mean like
okay, I'll clear.
you mean fashion, the hair, like
Fashion,
your
hair, all that kind of
appearance?
stuff. Like people will do stuff. Like I've had girls try to do that to me sometimes. Like, oh, you should do this with your hair. You should do that with your hair. That kind of stuff is always nah. Like this, it's not happening. It's like
Yeah.
I
They
have a
want
specific
they want
way.
to change. They want to change who you are to a different person.
Exactly. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I'm not into that kind of stuff. Like that stuff is a big turn off to me when girls start doing it. It starts to annoy me, and it'll get me really mad. So there's that's kind of things I will never give up. And another thing, I will never give up my interest, like the things that I'm interested in learning about or reading, that kind of stuff. Because like I've had people try to tell me like that I'm too much into something. Like back in the past, it was comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you like comic books too much, and I was like, no, like like fuck you. I've been doing this shit before you came.
Maybe you don't like it enough. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Like maybe you don't like it enough. So you got that. My interest, I'll never compromise on. My morals is something that just, yeah, that's something I never compromise. Like
Yeah.
if I think something is right, you're not getting me to shift on it.
Yeah, you bring
And
up
that's about it.
some great points, but like I wanted to specifically talk about like how she stopped like those playful insults, but like like it seems to be
Oh,
a
you
big
mean
part of
like,
her personality, right? Like,
oh, okay.
but and then like
Oh,
on
yeah.
the same side, he didn't want to compromise on some stuff. Like, do you think there are some things that you just can't compromise in that like kind of perspective? Like, what if
Yeah.
she was like, nah, like this is just who I am. Like, would she have been wrong to be like, nah, I'm gonna keep insulting your shit, bro? Fuck you.
Well, it depends because you know like something like playful insulting, it's just a way of communicating. Like changing your way of communicating is not that hard. Like because I've had that before. I can be very mean, and I've had women complain to me about it before that I was seeing or dating, and I actually would try to make the effort to not be as mean. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
done it. It would take conscious work a lot of the time, but I would work hard and kind of succeed. Like there'd be slip ups here and there, but I actually try. But I mean, yeah, there certainly are things. If there are things that are deeply embedded within your personality, if you know like you cannot change that thing, then like one of my things is I don't like giving up all of my time to people. Like I like having my own time to recharge and be alone by myself. Like I don't like having someone around me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that I try to explain to girls if I'm seeing them, that I do not like that. That I feel like we should spend certain amounts of time together and then we go do our other stuff alone. Like that's the way I am. That's one of the things that no girl could probably get me to compromise on.
Even
EJ?
if she just gobble. Oh boy,
Huh?
that. Let's say even if she
Yeah,
just gobble.
even if she was just
You don't want to see her all the time? That's great. I would love to see her every day of the week, 24 hours, 365.
I just like my personal space, man. I like my
Oh,
personal space.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I agree though, to answer the question. I mean, it's kind of hard to ask a man to compromise on the things that Vanguard just said he won't compromise on. I mean, these are things that have been embedded in you since you were a kid. So it's like it's kind of hard to just expect, just because you came into contact with this guy later on in life, he's gonna drop that, just drop all of that, and that's how some of these women look at it, like a Disney movie. Like you're just gonna change. It's like some romantic act. Like they're just gonna change their whole lives, and make it make it about you, and surround themselves just
Exactly.
around you.
Yeah, trying
And
to
life doesn't work that way.
yeah, like trying to,
People don't work that way.
I remember this one chick I was dating. fucking one of my old friends, a girl I knew this chick for years. She trying to tell me to stop talking to the other girl. I was like,
Yeah.
how am I gonna stop talking to someone I knew for years before you? I was like, that's crazy. I met you like a month ago.
You know,
Like you want me to give this?
that's
Like that.
insane.
Certain females is like that.
That's insane,
Listen,
bro. I could never do some shit like that.
that's another thing I won't compromise on. Like as far as like my friend groups and who I speak to, like you're not gonna decide that unless she came up to me and it was like a legitimate reason that I wasn't privy to, that like she found out about, that there's a reason I should not be talking to this person. I'd be like, okay, but if it's out of some like petty jealousy or they did something that she's blowing out of proportion,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or just something about that person's character that she just doesn't align with, I'm not gonna cut them off.
You know, I can agree with that. Like if they're like coming to me as a person and be like, hey, like I know that's your boy, but yo, he treat you like this, do that, and third. And I was like, there's a bunch of stuff I can't see because like you know when you're friends with someone for a real long time, you just be ignoring red flags, right? So if they really like
Rose-colored
brought it
glasses.
like that,
Well, Ray, what if she's convincing you of red flags that aren't
see,
there?
that's what I was like. I'd have to like, it is a balance thing. It's a balance
Yeah.
thing. Like I can't take her full word for it, but if it's like with some like facts and logic, then I'm gonna have to consider it at least, you know?
X and Logic, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to consider it, right?
But the thing is,
Because I've done
though,
that. I've done that to my friends where I'm like, yo, bro, like that person's not for you. Like just
Yeah.
like
But
watching them
do you
interact.
trust them? Do you trust them to be truthful and honest in their critique about that person? You know, that's the
you're
whole
gonna have
issue.
to determine
it's
that
like
shit
Ray
yourself.
said, you kind of have to examine it yourself too, because that's another thing that happened. And Ray knows the person who did this. They wanted me to get rid of like even Ray and some of my other friends for supposed red flags, right? And I kept trying to explain to them that's just the way we communicate. Like it's just all in fun, you know. Like, and they're like, I remember they were like, oh Ray, they were like Ray is mean, like he's always insulting you. And I'm like,
Biggest
bitch,
cap of the
I say,
cap. Because this
yeah.
man is the meanest
I
person
was
I
like,
ever
I'm
met in my
worse.
life. This
Yeah, I was trying to
man
explain to
does
her.
worse shit to me. I
I was
shouldn't be
trying to
friends with
explain
this
to
nigga.
her.
I shouldn't be friends with this nigga.
I was trying to explain to her. I was like, if you think his humor is mean, I was like, I showed her. I would show her the things I used to do to show her that like my humor was much more mean.
Worst thing
And
I ever
I
said to
know.
this man is that he had a bad hairline. This man was like, that's why. I don't even remember. I blocked
Like,
it out. It
whatever.
was so bad.
Like that meme. That's why your mom and dad. Where
Oh
her
my
shoes at?
God.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember that video?
Yeah, I do remember
But
that video.
and then the thing with this, right? She gets you to do all that changing, and then she doesn't like what you changed into, and she leaves you.
Yeah, now somebody else is working to change it back, or you got to change back on your own.
That's another thing that can happen. You do all that changing, you change yourself completely. Now she's not into you anymore.
Like I was gonna say, like, what if, like, for example, let's say you saw, you know, Ray's girlfriend cheating on him, right? Like she was at the bus stop. She was at the bus stop with
She at
another
the
guy.
bus stop? Yo, nah, wait. So the girl I'm just cheating on me is cheating on me with a nigga at the bus stop, bro?
She has
No,
no
no,
chance.
no.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
say that, you know, they were walking together, and then Gio happened to be passing by and sees her with a guy at the bus stop, and then he kisses her, and then walks away, and then she gets on the bus, and in that time, Gio didn't get the chance to take a picture or get any evidence, hardcore evidence that would show that she's guilty. So now, like, he tells you about it, and it's like, you know, let's say you've been with the girl for years. It's kind of hard for you to accept that he actually seen this, you know. But then it's like, what is his intention in telling you this and trying to like break you guys up? Like, what is?
I have a question, Ray. Would you believe me?
See, I was gonna say is like, if this nigga Gio saying it, if Vanguard is looking me dead in my eyes like, yo, bro, I saw your girl,
Yeah.
but I'd have to believe him because that's
Yeah.
not the type of joke he would say.
Yeah, I would not just
Like,
lie about that for no
Yeah,
reason.
like he that's not the type of joke. So I'd have to like I would take that face value. Like I don't like you normally there's like a preliminary. I gotta find out. No, if this man really was like, yo, bro, I like on some real serious shit, and he told me, I'd believe him. So I was like, picking him was a bad example, right?
Yeah, it has
So
to be someone.
Yeah, I mean, this man argues with concepts in his head for a living in the mirror, like,
so,
like damn, if it's right, it's really because
and even
really
I feel
'cause I
like
know it's right.
even if you like flipped it and it was like me telling Vanguard, like I think he'd believe me straight up too, because like that's not a joke I would say Like, I'm
without
not
any
gonna do
evidence.
that
Without
shit.
any evidence. His word is the evidence.
Like I would not just out of nowhere just be like, yo, bro, your girl's cheating on you. Like, I wouldn't do that.
What
So,
about you guys? You guys have that close friend that you believe them automatically?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I would say that, I would say that, I would say that about Perp. If he came up to me, like, there's really no intentions. Like, unless
He
you're
doesn't
trying
feel
to,
the same way about you.
it's cool.
I
It's
heard him
cool.
say no.
It's cool. It's
No.
cool. You don't need to. You
That's
don't need to.
not.
But I'm not like so caught up. Like, I'm not giving my girl the benefit of the doubt. So maybe that's why, in his case, he's putting his girl above any of his friends. Like,
I was
yo,
gonna say the reason she cheated on me, I got her on the bus, bro. Like,
To be honest, I don't think about Eric like that. Like, that's not even my friend. That's my brother. Like,
Yeah.
that's family right
I thought
there.
that was going in another direction.
yeah, same. Same. I was like, damn, air, bro.
oh,
Anyway.
here.
I don't even think about like that. Like about my general friends. Like I don't know. No.
Also, he's saying family. If it's
Yeah, no, I
like,
see.
something
What,
like
I
that.
see.
Maybe
All right,
of
you put it in
course.
different context.
Yeah.
Yeah, but general
Yeah.
friends, like I always hang out all the time. No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you
But
look like
what-
yeah,
Sorry.
I just lost my earring though. That's why I was looking
Yeah.
for it. But
if my sister were to do some shit like that, then that's something else. I wouldn't trust her. Like I would have
like
to
she's
find
just trying to
out.
get under your skin, like type shit.
It's the relationship you
Look,
have,
I don't even-
with that person.
No. I don't even think she'd be doing something like extra. Like my sister's the kind of person that she could hear the rumor and she would come and act like it's truth.
Oh,
So it's like I would have to find out with her. Like she would come tell me the rumor as if it's confirmed.
I just I trust the person to, like, even with, like, some of my closer friends, even with someone like Perp, it's just like I'm not thinking that they have any malicious intent, and if they're telling me this and they know it's uncomfortable for them to be telling me that, then if it has to be true, even if they don't show up with a picture. I'm not gonna necessarily be like, all right, well, like, I'm breaking up with her, but
yeah,
I
no,
would have
I'd
to-
still have to like go find some evidence.
Yeah, I would have to go
I'd
find
believe
some
him,
evidence.
but I still be like,
'Cause
yo,
it's like- 'cause-
I gotta catch her in the act now.
Even with Vanguard, right? Like, the whole bus stop thing. Like, he could have looked straight down and been like, "Yo, that's her." But, like, let's say she looked like somebody similar, or like he didn't really get a good view and just saw the side of her face.
Trust me.
I
That
would
nigga got eagle eyes, bro.
Your whole relationship hinges on this man's vision, bro. You know what I'm
This
saying?
man,
Like,
if he told me the sky was blue, I mean, if he told me the sun was purple, I'd believe him. His vision too good.
you trusted that vision, bro.
His vision is good, bro. I can't lie.
And literally every time we go to hang out, I find whoever was supposed to hang out immediately. Like fucking immediately, just scanning a crowd.
Yeah, no,
But
this
also,
man's
I would
eagle eyes is crazy.
It's not that I'm not believing my man's to
I know.
think
Like,
he saw that, but
it was just this is just he's just a bad example, bro. I'm telling you.
Also, that's
Fuck,
some
man,
serious
here.
shit. I would have to find out. Like that is like I couldn't just go tell him on the basis that I saw someone who looked like her. Like in that case, I'd probably keep it to myself because I can't be sure.
yeah, you'll argue with yourself in front of a mirror for like 2 hours.
bro.
Be like, all right,
On
let's
some
go to
real
Wade's
shit,
house.
On real shit, if I saw your significant other just kiss someone and then hop on the bus, I'm hopping on that bus too, bro. If I'm in the whip, I'm following the bus till she get off, bro. I gotta make sure, bro. I'm like, nah, cause how would I look? I'm like, yo, bro, I just saw your girl kissing on this man. He's like, what do you mean? She in the crib with me? Oh, all right, cause I swore I couldn't do it. I'd have to follow the bus for a few blocks, but I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out, bro. Like, I pull up next to the bus, look through the window, just making sure.
You pull out your iPhone, you pull out your phone, you just take a quick thing.
You spend the whole day investigating this shit. Like,
I
nah.
fucking might. If I had nothing to do that day, I was like, shit. Yeah, my fucking detective cap.
Yeah, because that's some serious shit. Like, it's one thing if it's just some girl he was kind of dating, but man, if there's some girl he's been dating for years, I might just try to like put on my Sherlock cap and like start trying to.
You start hiding behind shit. You're just like,
yep, I would probably try to get it on camera. I
You
probably would try
gotta
to.
hail a taxi down, like, hey, taxi, follow that bus.
All that fun.
Don't worry. I'll keep paying you, no matter what the fare is. I keep paying, man.
Nah, I'm not gonna
Follow that
lie.
bus.
I'd probably just run to the next stop. Paying a whole
The bus
taxi is
driver-
kind of crazy.
The taxi driver turns around. He's like, "Oh, you saw your girl kissing someone at the bus. You saw your friend's girl kissing someone at the bus stop."
He turns off the fare. He's like, I got you, home.
Yeah.
His nose.
One of
He just
those.
knows.
This is one of these. All right. Okay.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to show you guys something that had me dead. That I thought was mad fucking funny that I saw earlier.
What is this? What it be?
This it's in. I put it in the Normal Adventurers Guild chat.
Hold on.
Just play that. Play that for everybody.
Oh
shit killed
no, not this.
This shit murdered me.
Hold
I
on.
was dying a long time.
Hold on.
I'm watching it right now.
Oh, you're watching it? Oh, because he could show it to all of us, right?
I could,
Yeah.
but I also have to add something so like the stream itself.
I guess we can just watch it. Wait, but I want you to show it to the stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it to the stream. Relax yourself, me. This man.
Yeah, watch it, EJ.
Yeah, watch it.
All right. We're just gonna be covered for a second. I'm just gonna play the video, loud
want me
and
to do it?
proud.
So I don't know if y'all seen this video.
Could you
but,
skip
I'm
past
about to
the
tell y'all right
black
now.
guy? I did not know he
This
was
is
in
the
there.
first
You mean
thing
know
I've
he's in
seen
there?
all day. So what
That's
takes
The
crazy.
video I
place
saw,
is a guy that's
the wrong
going door to
video
door
because the video I saw did
selling
not have
something.
this guy.
But you don't really.
All right.
Okay. Whatever I do, whatever I don't call me N-word. Okay, he's a person.
I think I can
Well,
hear it.
3/5 at least, and he's.
Oh, I think
he should be
Ray's
treated with
already
respect. Okay, just
figured that part out.
leave. There he is. Okay, all right. Just prepare yourself. Don't say the N-word. Don't say the N-word. Everything's gonna go fine. Just don't say the N-word. Okay, don't say the N-word. Time to speak.
Hello?
Oh, here we go.
Yes, sir. Hey, how you doing? Hey, sorry to bother you. I'm Fernando. I work for Peak Energy. We're a few doors down. We're in 1845.
Okay.
So we do solar around here. We're just coming around talking to niggers.
And I fucked up. Okay, so this is not.
That's not the
my
original video. I'm
brightest
so angry.
moment. Definitely
Yeah.
gonna be on the shade. Maybe I could do a little bit of what do you say, damage control. If I apologize, maybe I can comfort him. Give him some Kool-Aid. Maybe I don't know. Something might change that. Let's see if I can convince him to let it go.
Sorry, dude. Neighbors. I apologize, man. No, man, that wasn't even.
So that just happened. Definitely gonna lose my job. I'm gonna explain.
I don't think we need to see this. No, I saw this video before. This man, he needed some self-improvement tips.
He said that shit so casually.
Oh my god.
How does that happen? How do you just walk with this money car and be like, yeah, we're looking for all the day. Oh man. And the way he tried to pass it off too, he's like, oh, I meant neighbors, man. I meant neighbors. That's crazy.
I won't even lie, he probably genuinely did mean neighbors, right? Like I was talking to some neighbors, but for the other word to fall out your mouth so casually, you be dropping that shit all the time, bro.
It's funny because I was watching a video with these two guys on this like podcast thing, and they when they were watching it, it was on that. I don't know if you guys know who Roland Martin is.
No.
He has this thing on TV1, I think. He's some the best way to describe him is imagine your typical woke talking head on the news, right? Some older black guy. And like so they show the clip. And they're all like the clip itself was already fucking hilarious and weird. But then them trying to look all serious, like sitting there looking at the camera all serious, made it even more funny. And I started laughing even more. And then one of them, she's sitting there with a serious look, and then she starts laughing. The woman on his little panel starts laughing too. Cause like what can you do but laugh at the absurdity of that situation? Like I would probably laugh if I was in the situation. Cause like, did you just call me the? I was like, what? Oh, but I think the guy just closes the door on him.
Here the guy he just closed the door. Here the guy just closed the door, and he was like, "Fuck."
Oh
But
my god!
like I said, for it to drop out of his mouth so casually, this man must be always on that shit. It's his favorite word.
Yeah, the closest
Yeah,
thing I
that's
have
crazy.
to that closest thing I have to that is I remember when I had this friend in college, and they were of the member of the alphabet community, right? Um, and I remember I was talking to Ray, and he sent me a message with a certain word was in the message, right? It was a word that starts with F
Oh
and
yeah, I
ends with
remember
D.
this.
And this shit was so funny to me because I play the message and then he says it once. And I was like, okay, maybe you'll get back. And then he says it again, but he elongates it this time. And then I'm sitting there trying to stop it, and for some reason it won't stop. I'm like, yo, why won't this shit stop? I'm trying to pause it. And then it pauses.
You're
I
just
look,
fumbling the phone. He's like, we're not really like this.
yeah, that's exactly what it was. Something like that. I was like, he doesn't mean it that way. I was like, he means, and he didn't mean it that way. When the message, he was just joking. Like it was like a "don't be a pussy" kind of thing. And the person was like, it's okay, it's all right. I was like, all right, cool. But
It
it was just
wasn't
such
all
an
right.
embarrassing.
It was not all right.
It was not all right. Because later I got that person like randomly hit me up. We hadn't talking for years, or like a year or something. And they hit me up about something from a long ass time ago. There's a guy I used to go to school with, the same guy I said who had that roommate. And
Mhm.
one time me and him were talking, and he started talking at length about like the alphabet community and like how like just a lot of things. I think he mentioned a lot of stuff like about the theory that they'd been molested as children, all that kind of stuff, and their proliferation of disease. And I found it very funny when I was having the conversation because back then I wasn't as into certain things as I am now, right? So during that conversation, I was kind of like flabbergasted, and I found the whole thing funny because like I used to be like I said like light Yagami. I would try to trick people into doing things or saying things. So I tricked them into saying this by making it sound like I was like sympathetic to some of his other beliefs just to hear what he was going to say. And then, he started yammering on, and he said a lot of things I did not expect him to say, right? So I told them about this, and at the time they were laughing with me, like it was funny. Then they're going to hit me up like a year or a little bit over a year later talking about that time when you told me that story. It kind of hurt me because I thought to myself, why didn't you defend me? Why didn't you defend the
I
community?
remember. I remember you telling me this, and he's like,
Mm.
"Who the fuck is you? Who
What?
are you?"
It's like defend the community because they didn't even say it specifically about that person. They were talking about like the general community. I was like, defend the community. It's like, what do I look like to you, Captain Gay? Like he was like, I'm not. Like, what was I supposed to do? It's like, what? I'm fucking Superman. Like, what do you want from me? It's like, man said some stuff he believed in. I did not care. I'm not gonna go to bat for your fucking community. It's not my job. I'm sorry.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Like the Grandmaster of the KKK started rattling off, and I just be like, Anyway, and I like, look, man. It's not even like I agree with what he's saying or not, but it's like that's not my fight.
I
Cause
mean,
like that nigga believes that shit.
I highly doubt you agree with what he's saying.
Yeah, right. I do not agree with what that nigga say. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I got my debate hat on, time to change the perspective. Nah, it's not happening.
You have to change the mind of this man who's literally spent years, decades of his life studying how to be fucking racist.
Yeah, like look, that could be someone's fight, but it's not mine. That's someone's battle, but it's not mine, bro. That's what I'm
Leave
trying to
that
say.
to the guy who actually did that for a living. I'm not gonna be as good at it.
Yeah, like all it's gonna do is like I'd be there on his podcast. I'm on the podcast at the crib instead of the KKK.
Imagine there was a KKK podcast.
I 100% believe there is. I 100%. There has to be one.
You know H3? Instead of H3, you have K3.
But anyway, like there I am sitting on his podcast and I'm trying to defend my whole fucking ethnicity. All I'm gonna do is look like a fucking goober, bro. He gonna be hitting me with these random things out of nowhere, asking me questions, throwing curveballs, and I'm not gonna be prepared. And I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot. So I would not sit there and battle with him. I wouldn't do it.
I'm just dying. Imagine on some Joe Rogan shit. He's like, so why don't you go ahead and tell me why all black people aren't waste of space? You're just like, Like you just saying that man calmly.
Like, no, deadass, he probably would. He deadass probably would just look you straight in your soul and say some horrendous shit.
And
So-
like now you're getting mad. You're getting mad because like there was actually something like this. A bunch of comedians were invited to this thing to roast like an imperial wizard or something with the KKK, and they're fumbling over their fucking words because it's not like just some random guy you're roasting now. You're literally roasting like the face of like racism. So they weren't doing as well, because now their emotions are leaking into it. So their jokes aren't as like succinct as they usually were. So they look like a bunch of idiots. Like he was roasting them. Like some black guy walks up, says some goofy ass joke, and he's like, "Yeah, well, I ain't gonna listen to anything from you." N word. That's what he said. I'm like, damn, bro. How you gonna really go up there and just like ruin it for all of us like that? I was like, that's crazy.
Ruin it for all of us, indeed.
But there was something one of you guys mentioned. I was gonna say something about. Fuck, what was it?
Oh, we've been
Shit,
here
I
for a minute.
forget it. I forgot.
We've been here for a minute. I'm just now realizing.
Yeah, I mean, we could head out. We could head out
Yeah,
now.
I feel like. Final thoughts, self improvement. EJ, go.
Self-improvement was best.
I kind of wanted to make this point earlier, but I forgot about it, so I guess I'll make it now.
No. If it's not related to. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I was gonna say back on the self-improvement thing, like when I was talking about like when people get this added responsibility, like such as being a father or getting a pet, now the self-improvement becomes more of a priority. And I think my one piece of advice to people that is trying to self-improve is don't wait for some like serious life change for you to like get on your grind, don't wait till something serious happens, for you to be like, all right, well now I have to do it, because you could have been starting, you could start today, start now. And the reason I say that is because uh when that time comes, if it ever does, like I don't know, like if you end up starting a family and you just setting yourself back, you'll be more prepared for that life experience when if it does happen for you down the road. And not just that, like even if, let's say, you don't work out and you develop like some kind of heart condition or or something tragic, right? Like some type of condition that you could have never developed had you just ate properly or just ate healthier or worked out more. Like these are long-term consequences you're saving yourself from, just by being more disciplined and improving every day. Don't wait till just don't wait till it's too late.
Yeah, don't sit there fucking 600 pounds on the
Yeah.
bed. You can't even move no more. Talking about I gotta go to the gym.
All right, Vanguard.
And I know it's kind of hard, and I've went through this at times with my motivation. Like the sense of urgency don't always be there. Like every day you're not gonna feel motivated. Every day, you're not gonna be like, all right, well today's the day to make it right. Like, gotta live like it's your last. I know, and I know it's hard to like always approach every day like that, but try your best to try to look at it that way. If you have to develop or like implement some kind of reward system in order to do that better, or if you have to punish yourself, whatever you have to do to get you there, I strongly urge you to do that. And
Yeah, because
that's it for me.
the real thing is putting in the work even when you don't want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Vanguard, drop some facts.
All right. So first things first. First thing I'll say, right? I forgot. No, I'm joking. So to sum up my ideas, right? I'll say like it's important to think of your life in general as like a series of phases. That's something I'll say. Like don't like part of self-improvement, like when you're doing it, something that can frustrate you is when you feel like things aren't happening fast enough. But you have to remember, right? You start in phases. So like you have your little infantile phase where you're gonna do little things, but they're not gonna be these big sweeping changes just yet. Then do you guys hear that?
Sounds like a fan.
Yeah. Anyways, then you're gonna you have your phase where things are starting to settle in. The routine is starting to crystallize. Then you have the phase where you're actually starting to see the results. And like you just have to be patient and wait for these phases to pass on and pass through. So that's part of like, because when EJ was talking about motivation, like sometimes people will become unmotivated because the results don't happen right away, or they don't see like any manifestation of what they've been doing right away. So you have to be patient and stay committed and realize that it's gonna come. It's just not right away. Good things come to the come to those who wait.
Perp,
Yeah.
what you gotta say?
Yep. I was saying earlier, my self improvement, drop some facts is about when we was talking about is helping each other out and learning from other people, and it's really important because that one person will speak the facts, and you could take that and use it to yourself and share it with others. It's done already. Yep.
All right. So just basically go over what we talked about today. Step 1, figure out why you gotta improve. Like, just figure out that improvement is a step that you need to take. 2, gather information, read a book, watch some videos, talk to your mom, do something. Just figure out what you can do to improve. 3, cut through the fat. Not everything that you've just gathered in is going to apply to you at this moment. Hone it in, tighten it up the research, right? 4, figure out your desires, really. Like you've done the information gathering. You figured out what is and isn't going to work for you. What are you really going to improve? Like, what are you doing? Step 5. I don't remember stuff. What was step 5? Apply it. Yeah. Apply it. Like, you did all the research. You did all the self reflection. You did all of the necessary steps to start. So start. Do it. Start.
Although an extra step could be what EJ just said, maintaining.
Well, I feel like that'd be after 5. After 5, you gotta maintain it. Stay on the grind. Stay on that treadmill, bro. Like, I know your thighs is burning. Just keep going.
Then
You
the
got
final
this.
step 7, is get bitches.
Yes. Profit. Remember those memes? Step 1. It was like, step 1, get bitches. Step 2, profit. That shit was crazy. That shit was good.
Man. Yeah.
Shout out to Perp for being here today. Yo, shout out your socials. Like rep yourself real quick.
My name is Perp City, aka Perp City _gaming. I'm on Twitch. You come through. I play games, whatever you got. After this, I'm about to stream 2K, so come through.
One of these days, yeah, I gotta verse you in the game or something.
Yeah,
We gotta figure that shit out.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. You say you like
You can tell us-
Magic
you
the
can
Gathering, right?
Oh, you want to face me in Magic?
Oh, bro.
Oh my god!
I don't have no friends. I'm letting you know. I have no friends.
Oh no, bro. Bro, I gotta get back on my shit. But Vanguard, do the thing.
Look, I'm basically getting all used to it right now at the moment.
Right,
I got cards, but the cards you expected, you're gonna be like.
And then you guys gonna be dueling and have that anime moment where
Bro, I gotta get my hair spiked up for this, bro. Just gotta...
Ferg starts winning, and Ray's just like, how is this possible? How is this possible?
Nah.
But anyways, catch you guys. Same bad place, same bad time. Vanguard out.
Facts.